Gavin, why don't you roll a
Collab.
d20 for today?
Roll a d20 for today. Let's do it. It is
Gavin,
a
you're from all my
6. It's
D20s
like
today,
pretty
just so I can get
shit
Chris.
apparently.
Scarfield.
Just multiply by 111. That'll be fine.
Fair enough. I rolled another 6.
I love when bad guys.
I rolled a
Roll
19.
one again.
I rolled a 19. There you go.
Damn.
That's
Hold on, let me roll a little thing.
Feet look like dicks.
I was
I have
hoping it was
my
this
die
thing.
now.
I was hoping you would roll 3 6s.
3 million
Hold
6s. 3 million IQ.
3 million.
I rolled a 20. Yay! My luck is gonna be great. Fuck. Shit.
Oh look, it just spiked to 2,000. That looks nice.
So what spiked
Now
to
it's taking-
2,000?
My ping.
Oh, you're paying? Oh, there you go. Yeah, no, mine's been doing that a bunch over Discord. I don't know why. It just does.
Now it's 60. Nice.
I really hope Farley shows up.
69. Hey, stop drawing Garfield.
I like looking at my thing saying Lord Gavgay is streaming D&D and D&D and it's just ellipses. I just noticed it on Discord.
What do all those D's stand for?
6.
I know probably
Really?
one of them is dick.
At this point, it has to.
Dungeons and dicks.
Dungeons and
Dungeons
doors
and
and dragons and
dungeons.
doorknobs and doorbells and there's probably a lot of
Doors.
door words.
I see a lot of
Doors,
Brock
And the
eyes
very
for
last
some
one is
reason.
desk.
didgeridoo-dobs.
Didgeridoo-dobs.
Hinga dinga durgan.
There.
King of Bing a Bargain. Happy Leaf Erickson Day.
Leif Erikson Day.
I had to know that was a real holiday. I don't think it is.
It is.
It is?
It is.
Yeah.
I did. I
It
googled
is.
it, and I was like, I thought it was like it was based on a real holiday, but it didn't have the right name.
No,
No,
Leif
Leif
Erikson
Erikson Day is
real.
a real holiday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't deny them their meme book knowledge.
That's fine. I can just show how narrow-minded my view of the world is, and I'm even Canadian, so it's even worse than American.
Ugh.
Well, if you're going by American standards, they kind of expect that of Canadians, so.
Hey Gavin, you should do a whole voiceover of one SpongeBob episode.
Of what?
One SpongeBob episode, like you voice over every single character.
No, what am I, suddenly Little Karibo? I'm just gonna voice every character, including the women?
Yes.
Yugi!
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd fucking do it.
Jesus Christ.
Just give all the women like really deep voices.
It's no,
Oh,
it's like
God.
that Game Grumps thing where every character is George Clooney. Nurse, hand me that
Don't worry, everyone's
stethoscope.
balls
Yes.
And her balls dropped, and her balls dropped. Well, her balls really dropped.
Wait a second.
And
Those
I
two have the
swear
same
to God.
voice.
Hey, pick your favorite penis. Pick it.
Oh great, there's one sticking out of my character sheet. Do I really have to cover the whole screen for this?
Well, I mean, like on my stream, I don't like it doesn't show the board, so that's why like I don't care what you guys draw there.
I
As
just
long
see
as
a
I can
tiny arm
see everything, it's fine.
Robin, just generate on help screen. Just go into the information, find some you actually want to know about, and just use that to cover the rest of the screen.
What?
Just don't cover
And
the tokens,
relay.
please.
I see it.
Ding.
Copy link. I'm just gonna throw it into something.
My phone said we were live 10 minutes ago.
You people have issues.
What's wrong?
I mean, it happens.
I just
Everything.
saw the
Better
Everything.
question, what's right?
pieces of arms and legs.
There's nothing right
Never
about
know
this
what's
session.
right and what is wrong.
There's nothing right about this session.
There's many.
It hasn't
things
even
wrong.
started yet.
Meanwhile, there's a man singing.
Exactly.
Tomorrow.
And then before the ages passed, he was questionably racist.
Damn.
The
you
entire
roll,
musical
like-
number goes downhill from there.
I don't know if you can really question that. I'm pretty sure that's a yay or an A.
Did you just roll a 6 for charisma?
What do you mean? You just rolled a 6 for charisma? It's just me going like beautiful singing voice that just like out of nowhere. I'm just like, it's like, And he believes in the angels riding on a wheel.
Yeesh.
Villagers like, oh,
Uh,
oh
well,
fuck.
should we start now?
Oh,
Well done.
Yeah, probably. Nice religion check.
Thanks.
Here, hold on.
Your god hates you now.
God, you really
That'd be
worship
Gavin.
that god of yours.
Whoops,
don't
that
ya?
was all the wrong screens, but whatever. It's fine. I was half decent when
Would
my
that,
webcam
would
came
that
on.
god be Gavin or the penis?
Let me take a look at this. I need to
You no longer
change
believe in
the
your penis
featuring
god.
because the featuring we're missing somebody. Hold on here. Hey,
I see.
Dustin.
How cool is that?
Fuck, here it is.
I guess I should load that up, shouldn't I?
There you go. Faunus the cleric, Ruse the bard, Osiris the rogue, Obelus the fighter, and Urania the sorceress. the
wrong.
Lord Gavin, the one who gets constantly really, really mad.
He's mad because there's penises everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, is there?
No, there is.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's gone.
There's a lot.
Pew,
No, they're gone.
Nice.
Insert maniacal laughter here.
I don't have a sound effect for
Maniacal
maniacal
laugh.
laughter, which is
Jesus.
kind of sad. The closest I have for it is like maybe this.
I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Our session's
I know
starting off
exactly how I
strong
feel about
tonight.
That reminds me, I need to route the music to my headset.
This one stays.
There we go. Now I can actually hear the music for once.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, I have like I know like everybody's gonna look at my sound effects for memes. And there's like one new thing I added in there, and it's gonna be like I'm just gonna throw it in randomly in the
Aiden, I hate
background and
you.
see if anybody's gonna be like, "Is that what I'm hearing right now?"
I almost say that every time, anyways.
Oh, I just like shit. I actually went through and added a bunch
like
of
shit
new
too, you don't see me
sounds.
drawing
So
penises
we'll see how
about
it
it.
goes. I just need to crank my volume because you're quiet. There we go.
Wait, let me up my mic volume.
Oh no, it's
Oh.
fine. I can do it on my end without adjusting on the stream, so it's all fine.
Oh, okay.
That's probably better for him, anyways.
All right, so let's go over here to my notes. Let's go to. Let's give this a shot. Something like this, maybe.
Oh shit. Sorry. Hold on. Oh.
You're not sorry, don't lie to me.
Who said I'm a liar? Winky.
You said it yourself.
Everyone knows you're a liar.
Happened. It's a true story.
You're a liarin.
Yeah. So?
Here, guys,
See? Not denying it.
play the flute.
Never denying it.
Shit.
Well, that's
I
the way.
played
Nice
the
flute
flute,
check.
so
That's a
fucking
great.
good.
We've had a 1 and a 20 already tonight.
Alright.
I'm a fucking
Flute check.
amazing flute player.
We're gonna get plenty more ones once we get me rolling. We know what's gonna happen.
Oh boy.
I'll challenge that flute with just a random musical instrument because I have too many of them.
Wait, Longhorn.
We'll roll higher.
Oh.
That was with me rolling an 11.
All right, shall we get going then?
No, wait.
Yep.
Religion check.
If
Yes.
Nat randomly pops in, I'll probably just force her into this. But I mean, like in the meantime,
Yeah.
it's kind of
Push her
a
in.
here.
She just like
Force her
falls
anyway.
through the ceiling of the inn.
Violently nudge her in.
Violently nudge her and just go like she's been here the whole time, just been really, really quiet.
Yeah, she's just been in the back. She's
Yo,
like
she
eating the
she was in
chips.
someone's backpack the whole time.
Oh fuck! I feel no, whatever. I was just looking at like what we have for the campaign. I'm just like, not having her here sucks, but whatever.
And then it randomly fell through the ceiling. Her halo there, temporarily. And then
Temporarily, and then it disappeared.
And I was like, her halo there, but then we actually realized it was actually just a trick of the light.
They actually realize it's an onion ring.
Was it merely a
She fell over
trick
the
of
door.
the light?
It was all an illusion.
All right.
and then Bella said, "Oh, I've never seen that before."
Animal
overconfident,
handling.
slow,
Fuck.
innocent killer.
Let's get rolling then. Pun intended.
Let's go.
Okay.
The diluted touch of poison and disease eating itself away into your bodies, you all toss and turn restlessly as you sleep. Your veins are burned with a dull smoldering of dying embers. The new moon rises beyond the outside window before a blanket of dark clouds arrives to blacken the skies indefinitely. Within the solace of this darkness you find little comfort, but comfort nonetheless. You rise, tired and well, the morning sunlight still behind the clouds, and the skies gray with the oncoming storm. You gather yourselves and arise to meet the world, which is fortunate as the world will grow ever darker with the coming days. So as you guys were leaving off on last session, you guys were all horribly infected with some deadly poison. Faunus, you were the only one spared by this, albeit you were able to fortunately find a good doctor who's able to take you all in to mediate the poison out of your guys' system. Albeit it seems to be, for right now, it's having a lasting effect on some of you. Hazel, you're a little bit more bedridden, and Annette is still unconscious from her treatment. So, as you guys are in the upstairs room where the sick room is, some of you guys have beds, some of you guys have bedrolls laid out on the floor to try and look after yourselves. The doctor is not in the room at this point as some of you begin to awaken. Go for it. Why are there so many fucking checks in my chat? Stop it.
Because we gotta check shit, okay?
That's fine. Here, RP for a moment as you guys are starting to wake up after being horribly poisoned.
Oh god.
Oh, for the moment being, remember that Robin is playing Gambit still.
Oh.
And Solar, you're still playing Hazel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honest.
You're on yet?
How come you were the only one who was not affected?
I don't know. Luck, I guess. Maybe Helm was watching over me after all.
I need a vacation.
I think we all
Of course
do.
you would say that.
Honestly, I've only been here for like a day.
It was a very long day. Alright?
If anyone did vacation at Alberos took 2 big axes to chest.
That's true.
I
I really don't know how you managed.
don't know. I think it looks
Alberos
just fine
very
to me.
liberal on feet.
I
You all seem to
don't
be
think
cool
I'll be
now.
moving soon.
It's fine.
Oh,
You rest,
Oh,
friend.
yeah.
Well, we can't
Never
really
mind.
just leave the kitty cat here alone, so I'll catch up to you guys later or so.
That sounds good.
Alright.
It's fine. We'll go on without you.
Who are you
Hazel's
again?
Hazel's just gonna give you guys a look of you're actually leaving me with this person.
Well, I mean, technically Annette's there right now.
Yeah, she's there, but she's
You're
like...
gonna leave me with both of these people?
in a coma.
My sanity.
I look over to like Hazel as she's just staring a hole into me as she's lying down in bed. We'll get along just fine, won't we?
We're all just like, alright,
I'm
you
just
guys
gonna
do
pull the
that.
pillow over my
Everyone
head
closes
and
the door
just-
on you.
No.
Alberos can't wait to hear stories when he returns.
All right.
Alright.
So
I guess-
as you guys gather your things, then at that point, Gambit has volunteered to stay back and look after the 2 remaining that are still in bed and still not recovered fully. You pass by the doctor as you're on your way out, which you offer quick thanks to on your way out. It doesn't seem to be that. I mean, considering the fact that some of you have been actually staying behind still there, the payment being handled by them, maybe if he's quite nice, he might spot you for the time being, since you guys were so close to being overwhelmed by the disease. You wander outside. The clouds sort of blanketing the sky. It's fairly dark outside, despite the fact that it's early morning still. And for the most part, you guys are. You remember you have the carriage still left behind that you guys rode back into the city with. Now the carriage was Hazel's responsibility to return, so I guess the choice comes up to you guys now that you guys have left of what do you do with this? Do you leave it there for them to take back and walk back yourselves? Or do you take the initiative to take the carriage ahead of them and then make the remaining 3 walk back?
Let's take the carriage.
Well,
Well,
It would be
Obelos
good
was
to
the one
bring
to
it back
drive.
with-
Obelos should continue to drive.
it would be
Gavin
good
can probably
to
get a
bring it
hold of
back
another
as soon as
carriage, so it
possible,
doesn't
but I
matter.
wouldn't want them to walk.
They'll be
They're
Two
still
versus
not
one.
going, but we
anyways.
shouldn't have them walk.
Majority
right?
vote.
Majority vote of 3 people.
They're all chaotic evil.
The three,
and so
the
I'm
3
always
people
going to
that are
use the
staying back
majority
saying
vote.
no.
I think we need to leave the carriage here. We are well. We're healthy. We can walk on our own.
Fine then.
As long
But
as you
don't
can
start
walk,
complaining
Obelos
if we
is
start
fine.
finding trouble along the way.
So, with that settled, you guys decided to leave the carriage for them, which is nice. I mean, after all, Hazel has the responsibility of returning it to its owner later. Hashtag Heart of Darkness.
Hashtag, when did I say that I was returning this thing now?
It was in a few days? Question mark. It's been like a week.
Oh, for the love of God,
Obelos
take it
knows
with
not
you.
what a hashtag is.
And so, with that all settled out, you guys decide to walk your way back. Now, the good thing is that directions are pretty laid out, Barry. You guys remember which way to head back as you're following yourselves southeast along the main roads to the city. You head off for a few minutes, just wandering through the streets. The town is small. It doesn't take much to be able to find your way past. You remember passing by the familiar guild house that you guys went into before, run by the orcs for the most part. The streets here at this time of day, not very many people riding along it. A few carriages. That's really about it. Hauling things to and from. Most people seemingly still in bed, as the sun has only just risen a little bit before you. That said, as you guys are heading off along your way, no, never mind. That's not happening anymore.
Oh.
I was reading my notes and I went, hold on. This doesn't happen. This doesn't happen now. You guys do remember as you guys are about to head out of Berkensted, to head back to Fellbrook. It's actually about a 2 days worth of ride, but you can take it. You can probably estimate that it's probably going to take you about 4 days worth of travel. The only thing you have to ask yourselves is that if you're properly equipped to make that journey back.
How many rations do we have?
Well, you could check.
Too bad the unconscious Azam are hoarding all of them is, not with you.
I only have 1 ration at this point.
Let me see.
Obelos has rations, but Obelos would also
I have
like to
2
buy
rations.
healing potions.
Actually, no.
If
Actually, no. I have 10 rations.
10 rations.
Why do you have so many rations?
I don't know.
Starting equipment.
Someone's not going to share, though.
2
We all
rations.
know Ronnie is not going to share.
So to make
No, mine.
but to make
She'll
the
share
trek
with me.
back, with at least with the food that you have there, unless you can hunt for food on the way along the way there, that's probably going to mean you're going to need 12 rations amongst all of you, which you guys do have.
Yes.
Ah, there you go. So you guys are prepared. Now you could try and get any more materials you need before you head off on your way, if you have anything you desire.
Yes. Obelos would like to shop for healing potions.
Shop for a healing potion. All right.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, no one's done that yet.
Obelos got stabbed. Obelos needs to
Healing.
repair.
I'm a cleric. We don't need a healing potion.
How many times have we healed someone last session? Remind me again.
I have saved Hazel's life multiple times. Thank
You mean 2?
Multiple. The 2 is multiple. You got to give him that.
Come on. Hey, I failed math in high school. So
Cleric
stop
high
making
school.
fun of me.
You're kind of cool.
And here I thought bards were the only ones that had colleges.
I was at magic school for magic users.
So as Obelis decides to himself, he's like, I shall go in search of healing potions. He leaves. Now, while you're wandering around, just give me an investigation check, just for normal.
Alright.
Just Obelis, since he's gone off.
Oh,
Yes, Obelos.
He must go find healing juice.
Heel syrup.
Your
Damn.
first roll of the night was a 1!
I told you, 7.
I'm just alright, what I'm imagining right now is Abella
Nothing else.
went into the city, there's like 2 different healing potion shops, and he walked past them both. And he's just like, he's walking past them multiple times, and he's like, I don't
Water is
know
potion, right?
where they are.
No, we left the hospital. He didn't even bother checking that.
I mean, yes, he tripped and fell in cow shit, didn't he?
Well,
Yeah, you
Gavin's
have
just like,
quite
how
compassion.
do I even?
Don't you?
So as he's wandering around out there, he wanders past like a number of merchants that are out there. A rather strange conversation echoing in the background, which completely passes him by.
They're too strong for you.
So he doesn't really pay attention to like anything going on around him, despite the fact that he clearly walks past a vendor of potions and just walks back towards them after about maybe being gone for about like 15 minutes. And as he comes back, he's just like, Obelis has found nothing, and you have literally no idea where to find a potion seller.
And I need your strongest patience.
Whoops.
Memes.
Wow. I saw that voice clip you were playing.
I was playing Potion Seller in the background.
Yeah.
He just literally walks past the conversation here. He's like, Potion Seller, I need your strongest potion.
Abella just found nothing. There are no potion shops in this town.
That's
It'll be
unfortunate.
fine, probably. If anything happens, I'll be sure to protect everyone.
Well, as you guys
That's what I have to do.
decide to head off along your way, I find I always have to readjust all the volume once we get in here, just simply because of the fact that, hey, shit happens. You guys decide to head off into the forest. Now, the full day's trek is pretty uneventful, albeit you're coming along on foot. You travel for several hours, seeing just occasional wildlife here or there. The roads sort of liven up as the midday crests over, with some of the more carts heading back over your way. Very few of them heading back towards where you are, towards Feldbrook. Fairly obvious, as the shipments coming in are more important than those being exported. Along the way there, you see the sun starting to set over the mountain ridge. You probably got yourself maybe like another couple hours before sunset, and you guys can take a decision of how to proceed from here.
It is starting to get pretty dark.
I
We
think
should find a
we
good,
need to rest.
good spot to camp for the night.
You go do that.
Rest and start eating.
I'm pretty sure all 3 of us need to find a place to camp for the night.
You want to go off the road and just camp there?
Yeah, let's find somewhere safe.
So the
Okay.
forest in this area is still quite thick, but you guys step off into the road, and like you can still see the road from where you're sitting, but you find a way off in the sort of like darker reaches of the forest. The can be quite large, the trees being quite towersome here still, so you still got some room to breathe while you set up camp. What kind of tasks are you guys going to assign yourselves?
I'm gonna go collect some wood.
Sounds good.
I'll look for some food because we shouldn't immediately use all of our ration.
Ah, someone's thinking. Annabelle's?
Bells will try attempt to keep an eye out.
Okay, sounds good. So for the first thing, who's looking for food?
Me,
Okay, roll a nature check for me.
nature check.
Yep. As you're scavenging around for food, you're able to find some nearby berries. There's not really that much, though, to be found from them. It's probably enough for 1 ration, you would say. At the very
Well,
least, you can
it's-
discern that the berries are non-toxic. Which is
I
grateful.
come over to Urania and I'm just like, look, I found berries, and then I feed them to her and she immediately dies.
Party
And before she
killing.
starts tripping balls instead.
Shit! Healing touch! Healing touch!
It's just like, quick, give her mouth to mouth. Anyway, so
Still
as And Urania, give me a nature check as well to see how successful you are at finding some firewood.
Fear.
One
Oh.
beer.
Okay, you are fully capable of finding yourself some
Hey,
usable
it's the same
firewood.
number.
Nice.
And Obelus, you keep a good watch out for everybody else around you. Thankfully for you, nothing seems to come by. And as you set up camp for there, you can all take off between the three of you. You can take off 2 rations as you have the free one from your berries you've collected.
2 rations.
Just keep in mind, like, that's between the 3 of you. So who's taking the ding?
Me, since I have a lot.
Yeah,
Sounds
Abel's will
good.
take one.
Bells will take one, and Urania, you can take one.
Oh, okay.
All right, so night goes on. Which one of you is taking first watch? Will it be Obelus still?
Yes.
Sounds good. So as you guys slumber off into sleep, the sun having fully set, now the darkness starting to set in, the stars hanging up over top. Obelus, give me a perception check.
Oh my god.
Fortunately for you, despite the fact that you seem to nod off very early on in your check, nothing happens to you during that evening. You all awake, fairly well rested, and ready to set off on your ways again, as it does take you guys long to be able to gather your things. You continue along on the road for another several hours as the sun climbs up further in the sky. This time you're heading out towards where the forest starts to widen out a little bit, which is indicative of the open plains that head out towards where Fellbrook is. You should be able to start seeing the city more clear view after you crest over the hills. As you start making your way out towards the mouth of the heavy forest that you're in, the day is starting to coax in, not necessarily near to the end of the day. You're kind of listening in towards around the late afternoon, so it's not even early evening yet. You could choose to either stop early and rest within the shelter of the forest, or you can keep traveling and then you have no shelter on the plains as you rest later in the evening. Make that choice now.
Abel's believes we should stop here.
I agree.
Me too.
With so few of us, it'd be much better if we were safer in this cover.
Definitely.
So as you guys decide to stay within the shelter of the trees, you head off towards the side again, similar to how you'd done the previous evening. Shall your tasks be delegated similarly? Or are you going to be taking on different tasks this evening?
I'll be on watch.
Abelus will go search for firewood this time.
I guess I'll look for food again.
Alright, so Faunus, give me your nature check.
Oh.
A waste of 20.
Tell me, Faunus brings us a deer.
20 plus 1.
Wow.
So, as you guys are gone, Faunus is just gone for a number of hours, actually. It's actually starting to get a little bit, like, indicative of, like, the day coming to a near pass at this point. Obelos, you went for firewood. Give me your nature check. Oh my fucking god!
I
Just
think
keep
this is
going
rigged.
for a bit.
Well, I just chopped down half
Oh
the
my
forest at that
god,
point.
why?
Yeah,
He literally chopped down like 3 different trees and just brought
So
them.
as Urania is sort of there in the background and trying to kind of like keep watch over the campsite as she's sort of collecting over everybody's things, she just hears this sort of like the sounds of the forest sort of give way to shut the fuck up, Dustin. You give way to the sound of just this heavy, thunderous, slow footsteps, which kind of like set a little bit of a shockwave reverberating through the ground. Urania, you kind of like scan around the area here, just sort of panicking a little bit, kind of like, what the hell, like, large creature is actually coming upon us. As you look over into the darkened reaches of the forest, further into the direction you guys came from, you see this large lumbering shape hulking around it with this large weapon in hand. You get your hands ready to strike back as it comes upon you, before a friendly wave reaches out towards all of you. As Obelus walks in, hulking a tree on his entire shoulder, going like, I have found firewood! With that, he just lays the tree down very gently.
Very gently.
RP
Oh
for a
no,
moment.
Bella's crashed car.
Feel free to RP for a moment.
Oh, Bellows, why?
I really don't think we needed that much wood.
I better put the firewood.
I feel like-
bring back firewood.
I feel like
This
we're
is
gonna
not
start a forest fire if we set this on fire.
I cut it into
This is
pieces.
too much. Was this a living tree? Did you chop this down?
You just pulled it out of the ground.
Chop it, yes.
Probably deep rooted the tree, if anything.
Euron is just gonna ignore the tree for a bit.
Bellas.
So now on the other side of the spectrum, you hear something crashing through the back brushes of the trees as the two of you kind of look back over there, again suspecting, not knowing for certain if it's another creature come to set upon you guys. Fortunately for you guys, it's actually just Faunus, who is dragging this hulking giant fish across the ground behind him.
Faunus? Faunus, why?
I think we may have gone a bit overboard.
Do you
I got on
think?
fire too.
I found a stream and this was just there. I didn't think I'd actually be able to catch it.
Did you do this with your crossbow?
The fish is alive, by the way.
No, I just grabbed it.
Show Bellas the stream. Bellas needs more fish.
I wrapped it in my blanket to keep it from being too slimy, but I just grabbed it. I don't know what came over me.
Clearly,
Oh
it
my
was the
God.
right thing. This fish will feed us very well.
I guess the amount of wood we have and that big fish is kind of proportionate.
So, as I take a quick look here to see how many rations you guys have
Yes, totally.
ascertained.
The fish totally came willingly.
This large fish is actually large enough to, oh dear God, to give you 6 rations worth of food. And the tree that you have there, as you chop it apart to pieces, Obelos, you are able to bundle up enough firewood to last for another 7 days. Fish came willingly? I don't think it came willingly, Dustin.
Oh no.
We'll do a intimidation check on the fish.
You do not need that. So, hold on here. Will I take another moment here? So as the sun begins to set here and you guys have your fire crackling away, hold on here. I'll actually set that up properly for you guys. Ah, nice campfire. You guys gather around and have yourselves a rather nicely cooked meal. Nice seared fish. Probably one of the better things you've had in the last little night. Certainly beats berries from the day before. Faunus redeeming a few brownie points amongst the three of you right there. At that point, you guys all sort of realize that, like, you're all people who have kind of gathered in this party, kind of like later on from what everybody else was. You seem to be more the outsiders that sort of happened in on everything as the group had already solidified beforehand. Which is kind of interesting to see you guys all out on your own together like this. Take a moment to talk to each other while you're finishing up your evening meals before somebody takes watch.
So what is your thought on what's going on right now with the three of us? Because
The three of
this
us?
was not originally us three. We kind of jumped in later and now we are on our own.
I don't think it's so bad.
Yeah, it's fun to jump into adventure. No matter, like, if we're not the original people or not.
Well, adventure is good, but is there any particular reason you all want adventure?
Well, throughout my travels, I've seen many evil. And I was sick of it. And so I decided to just want to fight against it.
I just want to have every opportunity I can to protect people.
It's not bad. It's noble reasons.
What about you?
Abelos fights primarily for money. It's
Well,
not
that's not
all.
necessarily a bad reason.
It's not all that simple, though. Abelos grew up very poor. Father was not the strongest. Mother was weak. So it was difficult to have food at times. Abelos growing up wanted to be strong, wanted to always have food on table. And to have food, one must have money. So money has always been the driving goal of Abelos. To never want and to always have.
Interesting. Well,
I'm glad we're all able to come together like this.
yeah.
So as you guys continue to mull over your food for a little while longer, the hours passing on, you chat just a little bit more, getting a little bit more accustomed to each other as if things go on. Your confidant ranks go up one. Joking. But as you guys continue to go on for there a little bit longer, you can hear something off in the background making some kind of a noise. It's kind of a little big.
Does it sound like it's coming from the forest or from the path we came from?
From the forest.
Abelos raises his shield, but he's not pulling out a weapon just yet.
Fair enough.
I'll
It's
do
quite
it.
dark heading out in that direction now, so Obelis, you're not going to be able to clearly see anything out beyond the reach of the fire.
Abelos is not attempting to attack. He's merely attempting to defend.
Sounds good. Do any of the remaining people with dark vision want to take a perception check?
I do.
Yes.
Go ahead, see if you can spot what it is.
Abelos can't see shit.
Oh, I can't see shit.
Hold on. Hold on.
You got this?
There you go, Faunus.
There you go.
There's something.
Hey.
So, as you guys are watching out in the distance, you can't clearly see throughout the darkness everything happening. You're actually hearing the sounds of birds scattering in the trees as this is happening. The sound is clearly getting more distinct and coming closer towards you, and you can't see clearly at all. You just see the trees breaking and bending as they're coming your way through it, until you realize, kind of unexpectedly, the one of the trees is coming towards you.
Oh.
Shit.
And as it steps in to your circle, you realize that as it turns its sort of wooden face towards you, you see that this is a very much living tree. And it looks over at all the pile of chopped up tree wood that you guys had next to you guys, and it seems to be gaining a high level of aggression towards all of you. Hey guys, roll for initiative.
Abelos
Motherfucker.
from shield to two-handed great axe. Abelos is ready to chop down another tree.
Oh boy.
My initiative. I wasted all of my 20s.
Chop that tree, man.
Just as whelp should have known.
Okay.
And here's what the enemy's got.
Wow.
Cool. I get to cast.
Burning hands.
Burning hands. Exactly.
Oh my god. Okay.
I want to cast it at level 3.
Oh
Burn
my
the whole-
god.
Burn the whole forest down. There's no one here to
Okay
stop.
then, go right
Oh my god,
ahead.
if you burn down another forest.
Okay. So this, and then our D2 Ds.
Watch Harley pop into the
Oh, dear
voice
God.
any second now.
So that'd be 19 on a dex
Yes,
save.
senses it.
And the dex save is... So,
Tree lacks dexterity. Who would have known?
So as you step forward amongst the group and such like that, seeing this living tree, you just don't even waste any time. You just wave your hand up towards all of them, and with this giant foof of magic, just the entire opening in front of you within 20 feet just ignites in this hellish red flame that sort of just brightens up the entire area around you. The tree, being a tree, does not like fire. As it just sort of rears back away from you, silently swatting at its own body, as the entire thing is now engulfed in flames as parts of its branches and body start to wilt and fall away. As it takes, what was that, 19?
19.
Okay,
38
so
damage.
38 damage.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So that's and
Claudia, seriously?
so the tree is just like it's almost like charred and black and all this. It's just thrashing violently at everything around you.
Remember, guys. Now it's not just a tree that is attracting you. It's a tree that's on fire.
You got a point. So now that the tree has been like heavily impacted by that fire, is there anything you want to use your bonus action for, or are you done?
She has a bonus action, doesn't she?
Oh, I do have a bonus action. I think.
Can you use a bonus action?
Can I use a bonus action?
Yep.
Is the question.
You can.
Yes.
Well,
Incredibly
I mean, like,
effective music
you
for
have-
fighting a tree.
I want to
pretty
cast
sure.
Fireball.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious? Oh my god! Fucking I dare you, get over 10 damage. Go for
the
it.
spell damage increases by 1d10. Okay.
It's already been accounted for, so don't worry,
Yes,
just
okay.
cast your spell.
Okay.
Oh my fucking god.
Well, is it AC 12?
Well, so much for having a safe forest to hang out in because
Oh
you just
my
burnt
God.
down all of the forest.
Nope. Okay, hold on a second here. We're doing this.
Did you just solo the entire tree?
So she goes to step forward through the flames with this crackling fireball like radiating in her hand. And as she steps forward, the tree, wide-eyed in its hollow-guy's terror, sort of squealing back at it, just this holographic as it's coming back. She ignites this explosive fireball in her hand, and with this swing, she just arcs the thing through the air. She missed.
That was awesome.
Good job. It's Bellis, it's your turn now.
Wait, it's the enemies. Oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah, it's the Elvis.
And by the way, you want to know what its armor
Gavin, I
class?
hate you.
You want to know what its armor class is?
13.
It's 13.
Gavin,
You missed by
I hate
one.
you. I hate you.
Also,
I hate you
yes,
so much.
you would have overkilled the tree to shit with.
I hate you so much.
Hey, Obels, it's your turn now.
Abelos is ready to chop down another tree.
So you're equipped with your shield and warhammer first. Keep that in mind.
Gavin, I hate you.
That's okay. You can hate me. I'm the DM.
We're the players, though. You need us more.
Obels, what's your plan then?
Abelos is going to put the shield back, and we're going to switch to two-handed warhammer.
Sounds good. Go for it.
We're going to use fighting spirits,
Oh,
so we can
God.
get some attack advantage going.
Sounds good.
And we are going to swing away at this damn tree.
Good on, yeah.
Get 2 1s. I swear to fucking God.
And there goes the double-handed axe.
Well, you know what its AC is. So as you just swap the shield in there, you just sort of just charge in through the dying flames in front of you towards this tree, and you just sort of just like this heavy, thunderous crack across its face. Hey, I actually have those, remember? Here you go. As you just sort of like smash into the tree's side. And as you do so, It does actually just like slam away at its bark. It actually kind of just digs the hammer straight into its body, but because of its sort of charcoal away, you sort of just tear through, just like blow out a side of it. But it doesn't seem to really phase the tree that heavily, as it's maybe trees aren't very impacted heavily by hammers hitting them. That said, you're still able to take a nice chunk out of its body. How much damage did you do? 10. Okay, so that means it. There you go. That's its HP. It still hangs on, despite the fact that it's starting to heavily crumble away at its sides. Do you have another action to use or
Extra
not?
attack.
Extra attack? Ah, swing again.
Much better.
Much better hit that time. So, you come back around with a thunderous crack, just sort of bring it back down upon its body. And another jarring chunk of the tree is blown away. You deal additional damage to it, so this time its face, like kind of like a quarter of it removed now from the charcoal as its entire body is starting to slowly cinder away. It's still barely standing throughout all of this as it's sort of just, its roots like not even like sort of sitting back into the ground as its treetops starting to collapse in on itself.
Gavin died.
Yeah, I did.
Fuck, I died?
Yeah,
If he doesn't come back
So
for
I guess
15
I'll
minutes,
take
I'll
over as
be allowed to
DMing
leave.
now, and
Hold on, am I here?
Lord Solar Games has begun.
Hold on, am I here?
I'm keeping a timer.
Some bitch. Wow, this is annoying. I wonder if I'm still streaming right now. Yeah, no, it seems to be that, yeah, they can't hear me, but my stream is still going, so this is weird. I'm just trying to get back into the session call. Hold on.
Hello.
There we go, I'm back.
There you are.
Okay, so
There
that
we
was
go.
weird. The stream didn't die, it's just I died in Discord. That was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really.
Alright, so I'll just cliff notes what I just said. You hit it in the face, it didn't kill it.
It did knock you prone though because I got a hit with both of those advantage hits.
Oh, so the tree's actually been knocked over to the ground. Okay, so the tree
Hill
spends.
bellows.
So
Hey,
here's what
I knocked
happens.
the flaming tree to the ground.
So,
go up in flames.
Yeah, so basically what
in
happens is
flames.
the tree spends its action getting back up. Faunus, it's your turn.
Well, I blame Urania for that.
yeah, I would too if I was there.
I'll blame Ronnie for that.
So the tree spent its entire turn getting back up. Faunus, it's your turn.
I'm gonna go at it with my short sword.
Oh, go for it.
Make us more firewood.
Another week of firewood, oh boy.
Although we'll have all the firewood.
I like my sound effects. So you come in swinging violently at it as you cut through the tree again, this time like severing a good chunk of its body down. The actual tree's lower half actually finally breaks away through the shattered remains that were left there as the tree fumbles down onto its forward legs, almost barely able to bear its own weight upon its branch-like arms. It might be at 1 HP. Faunus, is there anything else you can do your turn or not?
Hold
Can I
on.
have the fireball, please?
He's
No, you literally set the fucking forest on fire.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Wow.
well. This is interesting combat banter. No, I want the last hit bonus.
Faunus,
I'm
Faunus,
Did
you have a bonus action, so do you have a bonus action to use an attack with or not?
Sacred Flame.
Just
Use
punch
Sacred Flame, go for it.
it. Just punch the tree.
Alright, let's see here.
Radiant damage.
I love you rolled a 1 of the damage, it totally doesn't even matter.
Oh.
With one final blow, as you like point your sword off, or your iron gauntlet off towards him, you hold everything, and a crack of fire sort of erupts from your hand as you cast out the holy vestiges of your people and unleash it upon the tree that has come to attack you.
The tree made mistakes that night.
And then with the holy flames the white hot holy flames mixing in with the body of the creature, you hear it just sort of, And with a large thump to the ground, it just dies.
Yay!
You did it.
Na-na-na-na-na.
Do I have that in here?
You did.
I
Yeah,
did.
you did, yeah.
I did. I don't have it anymore. No!
Like a loser.
Hey,
Get the
Yeah.
darkest dungeon
Fuck up.
fanfare.
hold on here.
It's
I'll
fine.
let it-
Let's go back.
Time to go chop up that firewood. Use that.
Yeah, that's good enough. That was what I was using before. Here you go, guys.
Yay!
Yeah, you win against
I
the
love
tree.
Final Fantasy.
It literally didn't even get to do anything. So now you guys
Probably
are
should've
sitting amongst
thrown
the.
like 3 of
So
them at
I will
once.
just say right here that actually I don't have a sound effect for this, which is actually kind of sad because I mean I didn't expect this to happen. So you guys are sitting here amongst your forest and such like that, and there's a giant inferno of flame kind of engulfing the tree that had recently come to attack you. So here, deal with that for a moment and RP for a second.
Urania.
Yes?
Do you
Why?
have any way to put out the fire?
I have water skin. We can put it out with that.
No,
Right.
no, we can't. Actually,
A voice deep within your head says, "No, you can't."
Now's not the time to use
Actually, I
that,
have
Piranha.
precipitation. I can
Shut
put it.
the
I can
fuck
put it
up,
out.
Solar.
Wait, Gavin.
Marion or me can't tell me what to do.
Gavin.
Yes.
Can I cast precipitation?
What would you like to prestidigitate?
The fire.
You're gonna make us forget the fire's there?
So prestidigitation is used for snuffing out like candles and torches. You have an over 20-foot fire in front of all of you. I will say, give me what's your spellcasting modifier?
Charisma, I think.
Give me a charisma check. No, give me a charisma save. I'll make it easier for you. Give me a charisma save.
oh, you're gonna be nice to him.
So as you sort of like hold your hand out, you just sort of snap your fingers, and a little bit of the fire kind of dies away, but it doesn't really entirely disappear. You sort of snap your finger again at it, and a little bit more of it just dies. You sort of rapidly hear the snapping of fingers over and over again as the fire sort of like slowly puffs its way back out until it's just mostly like kind of gone. The part of the fire that's still burning is kind of surrounded by ash and kind of is slowly extinguishing itself. But I mean, for the most part, it's out. It's not hurting anybody anymore.
Only you, friend forest fires.
Smokey the Bear's gonna come back as an enemy one day.
God.
Flames, my mortal enemy.
Urania.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
No, that was overkill. We had no reason to do that.
It was attacking.
Not
I
like
didn't
good
know
enough
what to
reason
do.
to all tell us.
Well, obviously it was attacking, but we could have handled it without setting the entire forest on fire.
It-
This is what I live for.
The entire forest was not set on fire. It was only that tree.
Yes, it's our shelter, huh?
But
Just our
there's also
shelter.
no way to tell whether there wasn't more of those trees out there to attack us. We were protecting ourselves.
I just don't think we should be treating the forest like this.
Yeah, aren't you guys elves?
Aiden's a wood elf. I'm a high elf.
So the wood elf takes especially high offense to this.
I do.
The druid would be killing you right now if she was here.
Oh, she would.
I'm sorry, Faunus.
Hmm.
That's all I can say.
Sorry, not.
I just don't understand how you grew up with us. And what happened to your ideals? What happened to you?
Obelos is not good at counseling.
I
It
guess
doesn't
I'm not
matter.
the same person that I was before.
We can talk about this later.
As you guys are sort of settling your dispute after all of that, you hear this voice in the distance going like, "Hey,
Hey!
As you look back over towards the road, you can see the glimmer of a little bit of fire and the shape of somebody sort of waving off towards all of you. And you hear
Is there anyone out there?
Yes.
We are out here, yes.
as you guys sort of step out of the forest towards where your camp was, you come across a guy in a caravan there who's seemingly heading in towards Felbrook with trades in tow on the back of his wagon. It's drawn by like a couple of steeds in the front there. It's just a normal, average male that you've seen probably a million times before. Got a nice little set of simple leather-style clothing with a hood drawn over his head. You can see his face fairly well. He sort of smiles at all of you and goes like, "Are you all quite all right?
Yes.
What the hell
It's
happened in there?"
seriously on fire, though. There was a
Three
living
attacked
tree,
us.
and
We killed tree.
A living tree? Huh. Oh, that's different. I never knew any of the trees right here were alive.
we didn't either.
Well, where are you?
Abelos just barely chopped one down, and then another one come to attack. Abelos didn't know what to think.
Guy sort of just scritches at the end of his chin a little bit and goes like, "Are you folks gonna be okay, or do you need to go somewhere?"
We need to go to Felbrook.
Oh, well, he looks in the back of his car and goes like, "I'm heading that way. Do you need a lift?"
Yes, please.
We would gladly accept a lift.
All right. Well, hop in the back. Give you guys a few minutes as you guys gather your things and jump into the back of this guy's wagon. Keep in mind, you didn't ask who this guy's name was, or the check at the very least if he was at all sinister in the slightest bit, but you give him the trust, the benefit of the doubt. This is a man just alone in the dark road in the middle of the night. But you get off in the back seat of your the wagon and just hitch off on your way. Do you guys sleep, or do you try to strike up a conversation with him?
Well, I won't necessarily sleep, but I stay there and watch the road.
Sounds good.
I'd probably ask him about what he's doing. You know.
Feel free
if he
to.
seems to.
Abelos isn't much of a talker. Abelos will listen in.
All right, Urania, then what do you want to ask him?
Honest.
Honest, sorry, your voices are quiet on my end. I can't tell.
Yeah. Plus, we kind of sound similar.
Yeah,
But,
sorry.
So, what brings you over at this part of the woods?
Sort of looks back over his shoulder and just goes, "Oh, I like to travel at night to get my deeds done to and from the cities. It's a little bit lighter on the road, albeit the hours are terrible for my sleep."
I can imagine. What is it you happen to be transporting, if I may ask?
You guys have sort of noticed that the most of what you're sitting on is actually sort of sheet covered. It seems to sound like sort of like wooden barrels underneath of it for the most part. He sort of just looks back over all of it and sort of just knocks on the barrel and just goes, "It's just an assortment of fruits. There's no reason to worry about it."
What?
Wait, what'd you say?
Sorry, did I cut out?
Yeah.
Sorry. He knocks on a barrel underneath the sheet of that you guys are sitting nearby within the back seat of the wagon, and he says, "These are just fruits. No need to be concerned."
Yes,
Oh,
please.
alright.
All right.
What kind of fruits?
Sort of just looks back over all of you and goes like, "What do I look like, an herbalist? I'm just the shipping boy. These are all just fresh fruits from most of the areas out around nearby Birkenstead. A few of them have come from further out beyond there. I don't know how much you guys are familiar with this place. Have you been here for very long?"
Not
I
really.
haven't been here very long.
I
Abelos
travel
is
a lot.
mostly a traveler. Abelos travels all around, but Abelos doesn't stay in places very long.
Me neither.
Vagabond.
He sort of shrugs and kicks his the whips on his. Sorry, he whips his horse a little bit further to get him to keep going. He just sort of goes, "Well, I mean, there's not much I can say I've gone too far out beyond. I've only just heard hearsay from the areas out beyond Birkenstead. My route really just takes me between here and Felbrook. I've heard that there's a city to the northwest out beyond where the mountain regions is, although people don't really like to talk about that city. As far as I understand, nobody lives out there. There's a few more larger cities that head out towards the northwest and the western sides. There's actually a large, famed capital, sort of like one of those bigger cities that you would have seen, similar to Felbrook, although it just dwarfs in its size. It's huge. That's where the main capital kind of really is, if you could call it that. It's not really properly ruled out there in the slightest bit. I feel much safer out here." I have no really idea what kind of crops you're going to find out there, but the lands out here are just different than everywhere else. The kind of food that you're finding out here is going to be mixed in with some familiar varieties from back home, and he sort of reaches into the barrel and pulls out this sort of blue bulbous fruit with like several smaller grape-sized pieces kind of sticking out of it and a brambled stalk on the end of it, and he's like, you have weird shit like this. And he stuffs it back inside the barrel.
Interesting.
Someone eat it.
Oh, that was probably very rude of me to ask that without even asking for your name or giving my own. I'm Faunus. And you are?
Ah, I'm Nazir. It's good to meet all of you.
It's a pleasure.
What's your names then?
Abelos is Abelos.
I could see that.
I'm Urania.
Oh, Urania, Belos, and Faunus. Glad that you guys happened upon me instead of some other shady merchant fellow. I mean, at this time of night, probably have more to be afraid of than walking trees. But I'll keep riding for several more hours longer until I take a few hours rest as the night kind of cruxes on. You guys can feel free to rest if you'd like.
I'll probably do.
I'll do my
Abelos
medic.
will accept your offer.
The heavy thump of Belos just passes out in the backseat, just sort of snoring lightly to himself.
I'd probably take a moment to pray before I go to bed.
Sounds good. And Urania?
I'm just gonna meditate.
Just gonna meditate? Alright, sounds
Do
good.
my short rest.
I don't know how you're gonna sleep with the Goliath snoring in the back.
Meditation is perfect. So as the hours sort of pass on, the things sort of like lead on as the night as you go on. And basically another 3 or sort of 4 or 5 more hours, you probably guess, as he continues on into the night, and before finally pulling over to the side of the road and sort of kicking his feet up on top of the driver's seat that he's in and just dripping his hood over top of the brim of his eyes and just sort of resting. The horse just doing its thing as it also catches a little bit of rest. As the sun begins to sort of like, even actually before the sun is actually risen, like it's just sort of the horizon is starting to glow. Some of you awaken to find that you're already on your way yet again. As you continue on there, the trip not sort of like taking too much longer at this point. As you can actually see, the major ways out of the forest now are in the open plains surrounding Fellbrook. You can see Fellbrook off in the distance, and as you continue going on that way. I shall change the ambience really quickly because that is not the appropriate ambience for this area. So as you guys continue to ride along the roads, you can strike up any further conversations you'd like if you want, but beyond that, you can gauge that from the carriage ride that you're in, it's probably going to take another maybe 4 hours at most before you arrive in there.
When we get back to the inn, is done?
What was that?
When we get back to our inn, anything important we need to get done?
I don't think so.
Keep in mind that the last mission you went on was for Katya, it wasn't even for Titus.
Yeah. Unless Titus has something for us, then I don't think we're going to be able to do anything.
So the hours sort of pass on as you guys sort of keep quiet to yourselves in the back seat. Nazir kind of just guiding you guys back along his way. You're fortunate that he seems to be an honest soul in your regard as he drives you all the way back in there. The trip taking a little bit longer than you guys sort of expected to be able to get there from the early mornings that you perceive from the sky. As the sun rises and sort of like comes to sort of a crux a little bit overhead, maybe it's just a bit after noon, you guys arrive finally back into Fellbrook, where he sort of approaches up to the city gates and he sort of just halts his horse there at the town entrance and turns back towards all of you. Well, he'll be going off then. It was nice traveling with all of you.
Thank you for bringing us here.
There's no problem at all. Just maybe next time if you're in the woods, just keep the campfire a little under control.
Abelos will tame the fire. Much better. No wood will get past me again.
So with that, he sort of nods to all of you and goes like, "Have a good day, then." As he whips his horse again and just takes off a little bit ahead of you slowly. You guys are at the entrance of Felbrook, the northwest entrance of where it is. If you guys have any destinations you'd like to head off to, then let me know.
Nope, not particular.
Abelos
wanna
will
go
once again attempt to find healing potion.
Again.
You
Again.
want to try and
Alright.
find it again?
Well, maybe he'll have better luck because he knows the
I'll go
area.
with Abelos.
We'll all go for Belos.
When you don't
Okay,
trust
I
your-
guess that means
he
Abellis,
rolled
make an
poorly,
investigation
wow.
check with advantage then.
Then everyone's gonna roll a 1 on gold.
Advantage. Are we all running with advantage?
No,
or?
no, just him because he's getting helped.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank God. I swear to God, anything that uses Abelos' brain does not work out well.
So as you guys continue off into the city, you end up asking around to see if anybody knows about a nearby potion shop or anybody like that. And it turns out that actually there is a thriving alchemist that provides potions for a large number of the adventurers within the city here. They give you easy directions to head off on your way there. You follow the directions down off to sort of like it's an alleyway off to the sort of western side of the city. With a sort of hanging sign. It seems to be that this shop is barely built into the bottom half of a building, actually. Which as you approach the window, you can see a large, heavy foliage of sort of dense plants and potted plants, just of all sorts of varieties within the window, and making it difficult to see inside. And yet you go inside and you hear the bell jingle at the front doorstep as you walk inside. You can clearly see in the sort of like the back end of the room, hidden behind a numerous of the plants that have sort of overtaken the place, an elven man who seems to be just sort of minding his own business for a little bit as he's tinkering with a few things, a few concoctions in his hand, sort of over top of the front desk. He sort of looks up at all of you and goes like, yes, come on in.
Thank you.
Another round.
Abelos is searching for healing potion.
Sort of looks around and he goes like, well, you've come to the right place. I'm the primary potion provider for most adventurers around here. Or at least that's what people tell me. I guess. Is there really nobody else here that does alchemy? I can't freaking believe it. Well, what can I do for you then? How many would you like? What grade of healing potion? What kind of flavor of healing potion?
Flavor Abelos is not too picky, but Abelos would like to see what types of prices you're asking for.
He sort of just strokes his chin a little bit and he says like, "Just be one moment with you." He's just sort of like lays back down on what he was working on and goes to the back to try and riffle through his storage for what you're looking for. So a couple moments later, you hear him like yarding out a sort of heavy wooden container of some sort as he plops it down on the floor. You hear him open it up in the back end room before lifting out a small cart. And as he brings that towards all of you, he has a tray that's filled kind of to the brim with about 18 healing potions. And he sort of places it down in front of you. He goes like, "This here is just the dime a dozen quality. It's probably the most affordable out of all of them, albeit the healing effect on it isn't quite as potent as some of my stronger concoctions. So, are you saying like how much you would be willing to pay for these?" He looks down and over and says, "Well, it's 50 gold each."
50 gold.
He sort of shrugs a little bit and goes like, "These are very much in demand."
Abelos looks at the potions. As deep as thought as he can possibly be. Honestly, I don't think he's gonna get further than that.
Pardon?
Sorry, no,
Sort of like they basically at this point the shopkeeper's kind of leading a little bit in towards you, going like, "Well," and then he sort of looks over at the others on the side. He says, "How smart is this fellow?"
Sort of iffy.
So he looks back at you and goes like, "I can see you're stuck on the price, sir. Look, I'll try and knock it down a bit for you. How about I'd say maybe 2 for 60 gold?"
That is a big draw.
Sort of shrugs a little bit and goes like, "I can afford to make some sacrifices for people like you."
Arbelos would accept that.
Great, fantastic. Please hand over your gold.
All right. Here you are, sir.
So as he hands over 60 gold, he hands back to you 2 potions of healing, which I believe, if I remember correctly, have the effect of healing of 2d4 plus 2 each.
Yes.
So there you go. You can add that back into your inventory. They weigh 0.5 pounds, in case you needed to know that. As he takes the exchange back off of you guys, he looks back over to Faunus and Urania and goes like, "Can I help any of you two then?"
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm just helping this guy.
Sort of looks back over him and says like, yes, I can see why. And looks back over at Faunus and goes like, "What about you for yourself?"
Well, what sort of potions do you have?
"What kind of potions do I have? My dear! This is a wonderful magical world of potion concoctions. I got potions for every kind of occasion. I got potions for when your mother died. I got potions for when you're going off to your bard college for the first day. I got potions for when you have nothing to wear at night. I also have potions in case you are horribly ill. I got potions in case you are dying. I got potions in case you have died. Well, we don't talk about those ones. I got potions that turn things into gold. For temporarily. But I've got... I just... Whatever you name, my dear. I will try and concoct it for you. I will try and find it for you. As long as you can pay me in response.
What about something for
Dustin, shut the fuck up.
regular?
So, Faunus, what are you thinking of?
Maybe a potion for near death?
Sort of looks at you and goes like, "Potion of near death. Can you explain to me that one?" So I'm assuming that what you want, I'll just say it out of character then. A potion of near death is is what? It's a potion that sort of holds you at 1 HP when you take damage?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Sort of strokes his chin a little bit there and goes like, "Oh! That necrotic potion. Oh dear Christ almighty, some people like that, having that one. I have no idea why. It's like everybody thinks they're gonna go fight dragons on the first adventure. And they just come in here going like, can you have this life-saving potion? And I'm just like, well sure, it'll save your life, but it won't protect you from death. Well, at the very least, I mean, it's helpful. Oh, hold on, just a moment as he disappears off in the back room for a little bit. See him cluttering about there for about a couple minutes. As he returns, he has himself this sort of like slightly, sort of like tall, weird, oddly shaped flask of a bottle that has this sort of like black, kind of like shimmering red liquid inside of it. It sort of looks like it's a very, very dull healing potion or heavily concentrated, one of the two. And he goes like, "This here should be what you're looking for. One guzzle of this one and it should make you at least endure a life-threatening hit for about, well, I'd say 2 hours after drinking. Beyond that, the potion's effect won't hold."
You equipped an undershirt.
And pardon, what was that?
How much?
How much? Sort of strokes his chin a little bit there and goes like, "Well, this is quite the powerful concoction." But so looks back over at his Obels for a brief second there and goes like, "I guess I'll give you a little bit of a deal on this one. How about 80 gold?"
I don't have very much gold, so I'll just have to keep it in mind then.
Oh, no. Hold on. Yeah. How much do you have, my dear?
I think I only have 20.
Sort of like bats an eye at you and goes like, I can see what I have for 20 if you would like.
That would be nice.
All right, and he just
You've
sort
already
of
done so much.
he
though.
sort of like puts the bottle back down in there and just sort of like kind of like a little bit like irritantly like goes back into the back end of the room. So you hear him muttering to himself a little bit as he just sort of tears away like deeper into the back end of his room a little bit. You hear the sound of like a weird animal kind of like make a noise in the background. You can't discern clearly which animal it is. And then after a little bit, you hear the clumping of footsteps as he comes back towards you and goes like, I have this, as he says. He holds up this insanely small vial. It's like barely the length of a finger. It's incredibly thin. It would hold like maybe like I'd say like 20 drops at most of this potion, and it's this like vibrant, radiant green almost. It almost gives off light. It's hard to look at.
What is this?
Gavin.
Give me a moment.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Gavin needs his Jamba Juice music.
I just need a moment, guys. Hold on. I wasn't prepared for this.
How are you not prepared for this?
I was like, do you guys know? I was prepared for an event that I can't do because Annette isn't here.
Oh,
Roll vacuum.
apologies.
Ah, dear fucking god. Okay, here we go. That would be.
Poor man.
All right, let's hear. Oh dear fucking god. Let's go, guys. All right, hold on. This didn't happen. Hold on a second while we just get the ambience rightfully back where it belongs. All right, where were we? So he holds up the green vial and he says, "This is a vial of flavor. If you put it on any of your food, it will just make it taste insatiably delicious."
Huh.
I mean, it's not popular in the slightest bit. I mean, just unless you're a culinary wizard trying to cheat your way past getting yourself executed. I do say it has its uses. I swear to God, this is not one of my lesser creations. But for you, I could give this one away for 3 gold.
You know what?
Feels perked up.
Honest.
That sounds
Yeah.
interesting.
Honest.
Yes. Yes.
Think this thoroughly. Are you really going to waste 3 gold on this small thing just so your food can taste a lot?
Yeah, man, Gavin can cook all the food you need.
I don't know.
The Beatles
Rations get
tasted
old
much
after a while.
Your Honor, listen, I would, after everything he's done for Abellos, I would feel bad not buying it. I'm being courteous.
So
No, you're not.
as you guys are whispering in the corner of the room, the guy kind of is like, no, hold on. I'll make it better for you. Hold on. He puts it back down and he just brushes back into the back end of the room really quickly. You hear him like rummaging around a little bit more, just a little bit further into everything here. As he gets the exact same roll again. Hold the fuck on. I rolled a D100. I got 70 again.
Well, I mean, wow, it's better than a 0 or rather a
You're
10.
telling me you have a list of 100 items this guy could pull out of his storage
Yes.
closet?
So he comes out of the
Pretty impressive.
back end of the room, and he is like, "I have this," and he has this sort of like this. It's the same kind of container. It's a little bit larger, although it's a little bit more rounder and fatter at the bottom. It probably contains about the same amount of liquid as well, and it's like this sort of metallic mercury kind of looking liquid. And he goes like, "This one, no one buys. I will include it for the 3 gold as well."
You know what? I
What
don't
does it
even know
do?
what it is. Yes, sure.
Oh, okay. And he just sort of comes up to all of you and goes like, thank you so much. It's like, I have so many strange concoctions and just no one cares. They always just come in here asking for, I need a potion of healing, or I need a potion of love, or something like that. And I don't even make potions of love. Like, have you seen my personal life? I'm surrounded by fucking herbs everywhere.
To be fair, Belos was stabbed twice yesterday. Belos needed the healing.
Sort of looks at your body a little bit and just goes like, "Ugh, what the hell hit you then?"
Big giant axe.
Very
Twice.
big actually.
And you lived?
Albedos is here, right?
Yes, you. In spite of everything I'm believing. Yes, here you go, my dear. Here's the couple of potions. Thank you so much for your purchase. Oh, I sorry. That silver potion. That is a okay, it's a stupid name, but here, he just sort of grabs it off of you and just scribbles on the side of the bottle, and he just goes, I think this is the Riddle Me Gone potion.
Oh.
So it's okay, this is more of a parlor trick than anything else, but if you drink it and you hear somebody give you some sort of riddling question you don't understand, you will understand the answer.
Oh.
No one has ever bought this. I have just the one. I mean, I'm amazed I still have the notes on how to make it again. Sorry, what was that?
You mean this potion will make Albedos smarter?
It will make you smarter for one question, my friend.
Sounds like I steal two Albedos.
Excuse me for a brief moment.
Someone ask him what. No.
So with that, the guy sort of just looks at all of you and goes like, "Thank you so much for coming by, and please come again. Just maybe next time with a clear idea of what you'd like and deeper pockets. But thank you so much for your purchases. Truly."
Around.
With that, you guys exit out of the shop's front doors again. Get out with the
He
thin
slams the
alleyway
door
that you-
behind you.
He's not closing the door behind them. But oh, okay,
He's
there we
not
go.
an asshole.
So you guys have a moment to RP if you need to decide where you need to go next.
I want to go back to the inn.
Albedos is fine with that. Albedos got what he wanted.
What about you, Faunus?
I agree.
All right, we're going back to the inn then.
I just remembered that, like, for the last, like, hour, this has been the adventure of, like, all the sidekicks right now.
Yeah.
And it's just like they've been attacked by a tree, they lit a forest on fire, they trusted a stranger randomly to give them a ride back home. That worked out well. And then harassed a poor potion shopkeeper.
And felt pressured into buying things.
Because you felt bad. This is the adventure we're having tonight,
Felt like
everybody.
he's too nice.
Nothing will get worse than this.
I don't know. It's us. It's us. Come
Dear
on.
God. So you guys head back out that way. You follow the familiar
Sure
roads
as hell
that
isn't gonna
you
get better.
you follow the familiar roads back towards the Black Diamond Inn that you guys are so familiar with. And as you arrive in at the front door, it's sort of like cresting a look as I've spent a little bit of time searching around for this potion shop, potion seller, and it's basically cruxing into basically the early evening at this point. You arrive in at the Black Diamond and you enter in, and people are sort of starting to gather for dinner at this place. There's not that many people here. It's about maybe half full. You recognize Draxel off on the left-hand side, just sort of like keeping his company met with a fellow, basically a small handful of friends. But there is one person that catches your interest in this place, and over off into the back-end corner, sort of like way down at the end of the bar bench, you see Osiris.
Oh,
How did you know that's me?
haven't seen you in a while.
They can tell because he's brooding darkishly with a hood and cloak.
Yeah.
As he tends to do.
Walks up, asking, "Are you a star? How do you know?"
Keep in mind, I would like to point out as well that when you come up to him, he seems like his cloak is like heavily blackened from last time, and his armor is significantly changed. He seems to be donning a new suit of armor at this point. Albeit, you can definitely tell from the look of his helm that it is still him.
Isn't it a mask?
It's a helm. Fuck you.
Okay.
I am not wrong as the DM. I am never wrong.
Wow.
Anyway,
Wow.
Anyway, RP for a moment as you have.
This person looks familiar, but Belos is not sure where from.
Osiris,
Where have you people been?
we were out.
California?
Belos killed many trees.
Duly noted. Where's the rest of you people?
We got poisoned.
At the
Eh,
hospital in
excuse me.
another town.
Hmm.
It's a long story. There were spores, poisonous spores.
You inhaled
Also,
spores,
people
you
got
didn't die.
They got better. They're just stressed. They're fine.
And who are you again?
I'm Faunus. I don't think we've met before. I'm a childhood friend of Piranha's.
Oh, great. Well. What did you just come back from doing?
Belos got shiny weapon.
We got
Duly noted.
potions.
You guys,
Potions.
the mission you guys went off to was for Katya. Was to kill the two hags of the coven that had turned on her.
We killed 2 hags for a sorceress.
A sorceress?
Yeah, so I have to
Yeah,
keep in
if-
mind that Osiris, I don't believe, has met Katya.
She's planning on killing us if we don't do what she asks because we broke into her mansion.
And
Broken
I
your
still
back.
don't know when or why that happened. Who even did that? He wasn't here for that. I wasn't here for that.
You broke into a mansion? Why didn't you just knock?
Exactly.
That's a very good point, actually. Obelos and Faunus were not a part of that break-in and got dragged into it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
welcome
was
to the
literally just
ragtag
like,
team
well,
of people
shit.
tonight where fucking nobody was a part of previous sessions.
Uh,
So as you guys take a moment to kind of get familiar with one another, Naomi comes by and greets all of you to offer you some dinner for the evening. You take what she can offer at the time, as the dinner hour is starting to pick up for right now. And for this period of time, everybody in the party sort of gets reinvigorated with kind of the tales that have been happening. Osiris sharing some of the things that happened with Obelos and Faunus of what happened beforehand, as you guys were explaining some of the events that you guys have endured during his absence. If you have any further questions to ask each other, do it now in some RP before things move forward.
Osiris, where have you been?
I've been busy with some things. You don't need to know.
But
Interesting.
Belos told you so much. Well, you cannot share with Belos?
And why should I share it with you?
Belos has shiny new weapon.
What, you already got rid of that great axe I gave you?
Belos has it. Belos almost used it to cut down giant tree.
Wait, John. Anyways. Well,
Don't worry
let's
about
just
it.
say I've been trying to find some more things to train so that I am more proficient in killing things.
All right then.
Moment kind of hangs a little bit for the air a little bit as the few of the people start to funnel their way back either upstairs for rest or back outside to finish off some of their later duties. For the 4 of you, the bill is passed around. That's be 5 silver each for your meals. And that said, as Naomi sort of comes by to all of you, she goes like, "Has Titus given any of you things to do?"
No, not really.
Not that I'm aware of.
She sort of looks at you a little bit silently and goes like, "I don't know if he's busy right now, but if you want to, you could probably go up and ask."
Alright.
So after you guys have paid for your meals and you head up upstairs, I'll take a quick moment to actually put this on because I have character songs now. Jesus Christ, imagine that. Wow! There are people just screaming outside my apartment right now. I hope none of that's coming through.
Wait, what?
Nope.
There's like a party going on outside or something like that. It's like
Oh,
crazy.
no,
loud.
nothing. Nothing's going on.
Aren't
Good.
we the party?
Oh, yes, absolutely. D&D's the hardest party around. So, as I pull back my notes, because I need to see what the fuck I'm doing. There we go. You head upstairs. You can see that the familiar 2 guards on the outside of his doorway are still there. But, wait, hold on. Hold on. Yes, they are still there. I have to remember that. As indicated, the Titus is still up in his office, even though the evening sun is starting to come down and set. You wander in past them, the guards like recognizing you, let you on inside, as he is just sort of minding his own business. Actually, it looks like he has nothing to do as he's sort of smoking on a small pipe. The 2 other guards are also on the inside, given, the 4 total that are blocking up his doorway right now. He eyes you as you walk in on the doorway, and he sort of like widens his eyes a little bit to the faces that he's seeing, and he goes, it's been some time since I've seen some of you. What brings you here?
We were just wondering if you had any.
Well, he says that more to Osiris more than anything else, because Osiris has been missing for several weeks.
Okay.
Yes, I apologize for a sudden leave, but I decided to go train a little more.
And that same fruitful for you?
Quite so.
Sort of nods a little bit as he looks back over the remainder of you, and he goes, "So I've got an interesting story from an old friend. I have a slight idea of where you others have been."
Do tell.
Sort of just like fiddles with his pipe for a second longer before he stands up to try to walk a little bit around the desk towards you guys and goes like, "How familiar are you guys with Katya?"
Not at all, honestly.
She's
Katya?
dangerous. I have no idea why. Just, did you really do what she told you to do?
It seemed to work out.
You're lucky she didn't have all of you killed. She's reckless, or I say chaotic in her behavior. She's not inherently evil, but look. Several years back before I came to Felbrook, I was tasked with killing her. It's just part of what I did back then. That didn't work out. I failed to kill her. As you can probably tell, as he says, he points towards the other guards. After you brought me that device, he says, pointing to Osiris, I knew she was here, and I had concern that she was going to try and hunt me down. That said, she paid me a visit after you had disappeared. We sort of talked a few things through. She's dangerous, albeit she's not actively trying to hurt anybody right now. But if anything goes on between you and her ever again, you are to report it to me anyway. She's going to be able to send you out to do suicidal missions without care. She doesn't care for your lives, and I do. I don't want any of you dying underneath my control, as I understand.
Yes.
Of course.
Where are the rest
Alright.
of you?
Hospitalized.
Why are they in the hospital?
What?
There was an incident involving poisonous spores.
Sort of just puts his hand over his head and he's like, oh dear Christ. Do you know if they're going to be alright?
Yes, they're going to be
Yes.
just fine.
They
God.
just rested.
Wow. Did you kill the hags she sent you to take care of?
Yes.
Yes.
How many were there?
2.
That's the Coven dead then. We don't have to worry about them anymore then. Assuming that the hag that you found beneath Felbrook is part of that Coven at the very least. From the sounds of it, it was. Anyway, there may be something I can give you guys to do, but for now, I'd say that. And suddenly, before he's able to finish the sentence, the door sort of just bangs open and someone rushes in. Ruse, you have entered the room. Hey, I never asked you, what does Ruse look like?
Pretty human, He's got a very generic looking, like kind of brown cloak, and a burlap cap that he wears over his hair, which is strangely enough white and black.
Sounds good. Zebra-headed man. So as you burst in through the front door, as I will take a little control of your character for a moment here, you say, "Sir, we found him!" And he sort of looks at you with a bit of alarm. He goes like, "Where is he?" "He's at the Flaming Stallion." He looks at everybody else in the room and he says, "Take these 3 with you and go. Or take these 4 with you and go. I want all of you to go there and make sure he doesn't leave. I will get the remainder of the city guard and we're going to siege that place right now. I want that man in prison."
Will
Who
do.
are we going after?
And looks at all of you in the eyes and he says, "You are arresting Malvius."
Obvious.
And then he looks
Yeah.
back at the rest of you and he goes, "Go now. Don't let him get out of your sights."
You 4, you're with me.
All right then.
All right.
And with that, you guys set out of the inn in a big huffing rush. Now, some of you have been to the Flaming Stallion before. Namely, Uran and Osiris. And Ruse, you know where it is, as you have been previously there to witness Malvius entering the building. So, as you guys head back towards the docks, you rush back over there, and while you're rushing there, if you wish to speak to Ruse for a moment, you may.
So, you're new? I guess that makes 2 of us then.
What have you been tracking this man down for?
The reason
job.
that Ruse has been working for him is that Ruse has been working alongside a number of the city guard to hunt Malvius down for several days, and they've not been able to locate him until now.
Ah.
Hey, Soma, welcome to the stream.
You don't look like you're part of the city guard. Why do he hire you?
I came looking for work. And what am I to turn away coin? It's not like I'm
That's motivating.
mass murdering
I
people.
like it.
So, as you guys
Right,
rush on
right.
down there, you come across the turn down towards the dock where you run it down a little bit further south down the ways. It doesn't take you very long to actually get down there, maybe about like 10 minutes. You arrive outside of the Flaming Stallion, which you guys are fairly familiar with. I'll just give a bit of a recap. It's a 2-story in a rather shady condition. It's run by a halfling who you don't know the name of, albeit it seems to be that it's at least guarded by one bugbear, sorry, that's he's got in working alongside of him. The 2 of them were last seen alive, although missing after you guys had slaughtered all of the pirates in their secret back room. There
Minus
is that doorway that leads into the back room, albeit it was leading into the containing room for that Sahagin that led out into a gladiatorial pit in the bottom reach of that room. So there's a little bit of their options. A number of windows leading up in the upper floors into private rooms, but of course there is still the front door. At this point, you have no idea if Malvius is still there or not, but proceed as you may.
Is there any of the city watch close by?
No.
Guess we're just entering in then.
Sounds like fun
Give me
to me.
1 moment. Do any of you know anything about this place before we go in?
I don't.
do.
What can you tell me about it?
I can fill in if you have me to.
Yes, please.
All right.
It's a criminal hideout.
It is a criminal hideout. It seems to be the case. At least back when you guys were there, the password to get into the secret back room was, was it Needleberry? Needleberry, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys remembered that. That's an item from Monster Hunter. Hey, references. Giggity.
Giggity.
So the only thing you guys remember is that the last time you came here it was empty, minus the caretaker and the bugbear. But the bugbear was guarding the door, only accepting people who knew the password through. The staircase goes through a false wall in the back right corner of the room, and once you head down a flight of stairs leading into sort of like an area built out of the ruins beneath the city, leads into a large open kind of pubish area there with lots of tables and centered around. And there's a large pit in the middle of the room lined with sharpened wood and spikes, and a large cage of doors that leads up to a containment room which they use to hold wild animals for various entertainment reasons. There's actually a trapdoor in the back that leads into that room, albeit if you guys really, really hate living, it would probably be a good idea to go back in there. I mean, specifically into the trapdoor. To say the very least, the innkeepers and the security guard there remember only Osiris and Urania. They didn't see them leave, but they saw them come in. They spoke to them, and they were very shady. But they did let them go inside the room after Urania was able to mind read the bugbear to get the password off of him. So to say that there is like hostility around there isn't necessarily true.
Huh. 1 second. I think I have to look up one spell before we go in.
Sounds good.
Wait, they still recognize me?
You have changed your armor. It is unlikely that they may recognize you for anything other than your voice. They will recognize Urania in an instant, but they have no reason to dislike Urania, especially because the innkeeper was hitting on her.
He was what?
Of
He
course
was what?
it was.
So how do you get into this secret passage?
There is a false door in the back right corner.
Okay.
It is a wall that is marked with a thieves' cant symbol for hideaway.
All right. Should ask, how discreet are you people, considering? Kind of looks at Obelos just because how big he is.
Everybody else looks at Urania.
Wait, what was the question? Sorry.
The question was
How
how
dis-
discreet were all of you as Ruse looks at the barbarian, but the rest of you look at Urania.
I don't know.
Not very.
Yeah,
How
not
much
very.
room do we have at the ceiling?
So we're gonna go
Are-
and look around.
Are any of you able to get in without causing a scene?
I don't see any reason for it.
Then let's go.
Alberos is not known for being stealthy.
Thankfully, if you
Why
guys are
would we
walking
need
in the
to be
front
stealthy?
door, you won't have to be stealthy.
Yeah.
No, it's more so just like, causing the disturbance or standing out. More so than they already do.
It's a criminal hideout. I'm sure they've seen plenty of weird people.
Yeah.
Large person Alberos will try not to stand out.
As he takes a crouch.
Good luck.
Alright then, so, as I change up the mood a little bit. So as you guys wander inside the front door, sort of the door sort of like heavily unlatches and sort of creaks open. You walk inside to find that there's a small ruckus of conversation kind of going around you, as it all sort of comes to a stop as you walk inside. It's sort of like a number of people actually inside the place this time sort of look up and look at you. You count about 7 looking ruffians around the place, all of various races and sizes. The bugbear that you guys remember sitting off in the back corner is still doing his job as the innkeep is manning the bar, fetching one person along the front line there an ale right as he comes in. He sort of looks at all of you and sort of smiles as his eyes immediately go to Urania, but then they also go to Obelos as he sort of looks away and goes like,
I will go ahead and walk up to the barkeep,
sounds good.
and I'll go ahead and ask for a drink.
Sort of looks at you and goes like, I'll be right with you then. As he passes the ale off to the man at your side, sort of a rough-looking fellow with an eye patch and a heavy beard, kind of hidden underneath a cloak that he's tattered cloak he's wearing. Guy's sort of sipping away his ale. As the guy sort of goes into the back end to catch you another mug, and he starts pouring you something. He goes like, "So what brings you all around here?"
Tailing work, you know.
I
Finding
am familiar
people.
with that. As he sort of lays down a little pint of liquor in front of you, sort of frothing off over the edge of the rim. Sort of looks at the rest of your party as they gather up around you and goes like, "How can I help all of you then?"
Looking for one that last I saw came into your establishment. And I'll go ahead and flick him payment for the actual ale that he got me.
Yeah,
And
fair enough.
like I said,
So he collects the coin off of the desk and walks it quickly. Sort of goes something like this. "I see many strange people wandering here. It's kind of might be a bit of a foggy memory to keep track of them all. Can you just describe this fellow for me? Maybe I can help you?"
I don't actually recall you actually giving me a description for Malvius other than
You know what he looks like. Malvius.
Okay.
Covering his eyes.
Ruse knows what Malvius looks like, and I think everybody but Faunus knows what he looks like.
Yeah, I don't even know who he is. I'm just here.
Yeah.
That's a good point. You have no idea what you're in for.
That's been the whole campaign, is just Faunus being dragged around by these people and then talking about like, "Oh man, remember when we stole from this person? Remember when we fought zombies?" And Faunus just being like, "What? You guys did what?"
So,
That's
the
just the
description of
dynamic.
Malvius, to put it lightly, is that he's a man in a dark coat with heavy black gloves. He has a white porcelain mask that has a face on it that's smiling, sort of a sinister humanoid kind of well-made porcelain mask, albeit the eyes don't actually have any eye slots. And from the looks of it, he wears a top hat as well. He seems to be heavily armored, although you can't see the weapons clearly underneath his coat. And every inch of his body is covered.
Mhm. Well,
Yeah, that doesn't sound fishy at all.
guy came in, cloak, mask, kind of like this guy, but bit more of the nightmare fuelish type. Was also wearing a top hat.
Oh! Sort of looks at you dead in the eye and he goes, "Never seen him."
Now, surely you're not trying to lie to me.
Sort of looks at you and goes like, "Son, lots of people come in here looking like motherfuckers. And I'm gonna say right now, I never seen a man in a top hat and a mask before." Besides, if I did, I don't necessarily need to tell you anything. I mean, it's not like anybody here is a snitch. Am I right, boys? As everybody sort of goes, "Hey!" But if you're snitches, I don't know if it's quite the right place for you to be here, if you catch my drift.
I'm gonna take a drink, and then I'm just gonna look him straight in the eyes and be like, "Now, I'm no snitch. I've had way too much inconveniences in my life. But as I did say, I am a tracker. And this is someone that definitely has my warrant of interest currently. So perhaps it would be in both of our benefits if you would kindly divulge his location if you have seen him. And if you do, perhaps you should go on break afterwards."
Fuck you, man. The guy sort of,
And I will also, in conjunction with that,
yeah.
one second. Where is that skill? There it is. I will use one of my bardic inspirations.
Go ahead.
I will take that off of his roll.
So, as you use your power of suggestion over, now here's my thing. I gotta ask really quickly, just in case, because I haven't made the roll quite yet. If it fails, does he know you tried to suggest him?
No, that's what I was actually looking for.
Okay, that sounds good. So as you use your power over top of him, you feel the magic sort of like weave out from your mouth over a course of your fingers as it sort of trails off towards him. You feel it sort of imprint upon him in his eyes and his face, and you don't see much of emotion within his face as he kind of doesn't even blink as a response to what he's saying, before he sort of smiles and looks back to you and goes like, "Son, I don't think you quite understand where you are. A lot of people here don't like being found. It's okay, Solar. I rolled a 20. It's okay."
Well, that should still go off of that, but fuck.
It's not enough.
Damn.
It's not enough. I'm
I'm
sorry.
sad.
That was a very good roll I had.
Fair enough.
So at this
Sadly, I can't actually increase the spell level of that.
yeah, I
either,
know.
so-
How it's kind of like, oh, okay. Well, that's a literally the modifiers on this character saved them.
Stupid modifiers. That was a wisdom mod too, so
That was, yeah. Well, halflings.
fucking halflings. Okay.
So at this point, it seems to be that Ruse is getting nowhere with this. Is anybody else going to try and interject?
I don't think I would be proper for the situation.
Urania, Obelus, Osiris?
I'm just singing kind of far away,
Yeah,
just
you're a
like
liar.
typing
You can do
bandages
this.
on
Oh,
and
sorry, I
on.
forgot I was muted. Detect thought.
Detect thoughts.
Be gone, thought.
Be gone, thought. So are you going to try and ask him a question while you use detect thought to try and get an answer to impulsively come into his head?
Yes.
What are you going to ask him?
I'm gonna go sit down next to Ruse and I'll be like, "Hey, have you seen a man wearing a top hat, mask, and some dark clothing around here?"
You can reword that because he's already been asked the question. Simply say,
Oh.
like, you could
Yeah.
re-ask him, like, are you absolutely sure you haven't seen that man? For
Are you
role-playing
positive?
purposes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Feel free, yeah, you can cast that spell on him. And,
Right.
Does he realize? Okay, well.
yeah, he has to...
yes.
Oh, the first time it's free. I remember that about that spell. So, as you cast Detect Thought on this guy, he sort of looks at you and he sort of replies and he goes, "Honey, you're a very pretty face, and I do remember you, but... No, I haven't seen him. I told your friend here I haven't seen him." And in the back of his mind, you hear the thoughts. Basically, you don't hear words as much as you feel an impulse driving you towards the hidden door in the back.
I'm just gonna lean towards Ruse and be like,
Just gonna finish my drink and be like, very well. You have some good ale, though.
He looks up and he goes like, "Ah, yes, the finest needleberry ale that you can find anywhere. Albeit it's a bit of a strange taste. I like it quite perfectly myself."
I guess we'll head out since I'm being told otherwise.
So where are you guys going to be heading?
"I'm gonna head to the back, get through the security guard, and find Malvius."
Sounds good. Are people going to follow?
I'm going to accompany him because
You're probably gonna have to tell that everyone wants something to get back there.
Well, if you're fortunate, maybe you'll actually have the password still to get in. He did mention the needleberry ale again, but there's no guarantee that that's still the password.
Yeah.
Well, at the very least, you guys get up to try and head off your way there. Some of the people one of the people in the end kind of like getting up past you as they walk on their way out, sort of just pushing their way past you. As that happens, the person that walks past you actually stops and looks back over over their shoulder towards you.
Oh no.
And then the person turns to look back towards you, and you hear a feminine voice go, "Who are you?"
Who are you?
She points towards Osiris and says, "Who are you?" At this point, everybody in the inn is now staring.
What are you asking for?
Do you look back and see who it is?
Yeah.
You see the face of somebody you haven't seen in years. You recognize it as Laris, who is one of your former companions.
Oh. Someone you know?
No.
Her finger, as she's
Oh, is
pointing at you, is trembling. She is, by the way, just so you understand the appearance of her, she's in a black cloak, slightly revealing clothing of some assortment. She has a huge assortment of daggers around her wrist and within the cloak at her feet. She has red eyes and dark blue skin as if she is a drow, or a dark elf. Are you going to use Detect Thought again, Urania?
I'd rather save it.
Fair enough.
Journey's
She is
going on.
pointing, and she looks horribly distraught at Osiris.
Well, what is it you want?
She says, "I never thought I'd see you again. After everything you did to us."
What are you talking about?
She sort of looks at you and looks around at everybody else and goes like, "After you turned on all of your friends and killed 2 of them. You tried to kill the rest of us. You tried to kill me."
Some skeletons in the closet up there? Rogue?
Is
I don't have the slightest clue what she's talking about.
Your name is Osiris, isn't it?
Yes, what of it?
She walks up to you until she can sort of just see, like, trying to peer through with her dark vision, like, into the crack in your helm. And then she says, "You. I have waited so long to find you." And in the blink of the eye, she goes to stab you.
Oh.
Well,
Hold on a moment, really quickly.
understandable.
How much damage does he take?
It depends. Does she hit is the thing. Let's see here. Really
100
quickly.
damage.
Yeah, that hits. And she stabs him once, and with one of her swords. And let's see here. You take 5 damage as the blade's just like driven like heavily into your gut. Just let's say just like as it goes straight into your side, like right there. And as it does so, you feel this uncontrollable burning sensation just like course through your bloodstream. Make a Constitution save.
You don't need to tell me. I use Hellish Rebuke.
You have to make that save first, motherfucker.
Constitution save?
Constitution save. Well, not with advantage.
cheater.
That's on advantage.
I
Yeah,
got
it is.
2 rolls. Yeah, you are with advantage. I'll take your first roll.
I didn't get any. I didn't get any pop up.
Oh, it's
all
not.
I
It's
did
not
was-
set to your page. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'll do that really quickly. That's not the right page, Gavin.
Oh no!
Prompt. There you go. You're
Gavin,
set.
Make it so all of my rolls have advantage.
Same thing. Doesn't matter.
It's the same. It's basically you said it with advantage, yes, but I mean, like, I would only take the first roll then because I'm nice like that. Unfortunately, you failed the save as you. Hey, hold on. I'm gonna use a fucking macro to deal with this damage. Hold on. I'll make it public. You take an additional 33 poison damage.
What?
Oh.
Wow. Well then.
And how much health do you have, Osiris?
Let me see.
That's 38 damage
38.
you've taken. It even does. It's like, well, damn.
Huh. You seem to really have pissed off the lady.
Hold on here. I can just do the damage really quickly here. There you go. He has 11 health left.
It's 11?
You have 11 health left.
I'm surprised you're still alive.
And with that, she just sort of like heavily tears the blade out of your gut as you sort of fall to your knees, just kind of like clutching at your wound and just like holding a hand over your mask as if you were going to vomit right there. And she just sort of looks down at you and goes like, I'm going to kill you for everything you've done. And with that, the rest of the people in the inn as well all jump up and draw their weapons as well. The innkeep in the back sort of just like ducking in underneath the back end counter as even the bugbear in the corner also gets up to join in the fight. Hey, everybody, time to roll for initiative.
How many people are there?
There are 6 people, a bugbear, and this woman.
Oops. Great.
There we go.
Wait, 38?
When you crit your initiative roll because you want to go first. Wow.
Jesus Christ, Faunus.
Job honest.
Yeah, I have 14 health,
I
not
did
11.
really good. I was just
I
like,
think that's the
whoa
highest I've
there.
rolled for initiative
I don't
ever.
even know this guy, but do not stab him.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
Jesus Christ.
I don't really care for it.
All right, so
So-
you guys, by the way, are all sort of gathered in the middle of the room with a bar kind of to your left-hand side. There's a number of tables over to the right-hand side and in front of you and behind you. The entire space around you kind of going to your front, to your right, and to your back kind of spans about 20 feet in those directions. And around you in every direction, there's at least one band of the bugbears in the back, and right in front of Osiris in the front is Alaris. Faunus, it's now your turn.
Gavin,
Yep.
does the enemies, I guess, let's say they're average dexterity higher than mine?
I would say, if I check really quickly, we have a dexterity of 2, we have a dexterity of 3, and a dexterity of 3. So I'd think their dexterity is like just under 3.
Okay, so mine's 3, so I think I would go ahead of them.
Alright, fine, you motherfucker. Go ahead of them.
Thank you.
Faunus, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna attack with my short sword.
I guess I'll just stay here bleeding.
You're fine.
Alright, attack with your short sword then. Who are you going to attack? One of the bandits that's starting to get up from their chair? Are you going to go after Alaris, or are you going to try and go after the bugbear in the back?
Alaris.
You're going to go after Alaris. Alright, go for it. Wow, okay. Do you have any other actions you should use this turn?
Hold on. I'm going to do Cure Wounds.
That's a bonus action, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Hold on a quick second while I just type down a few numbers, because I need to. Oops. Typing them down in the wrong fucking space. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Alright, so you go after Alaris, and you also cast Cure Wounds. Oh, that is a good roll. You cast Cure Wounds obviously on Osiris. Nice. I think you also gain a bonus to that. I think it's +2 because of your ability.
Yeah.
So that's 13 HP back to Osiris. I'll quickly touch that in for you, boy. +13.
My gratitude.
There you go, 24 HP. You're about half now. As you rush in, you sort of just like seeing this like woman just like having like nearly assassinated your friend from you. Just like impulsively draw your sword and rush in forward as you take a wild swinging slash at her. And
Punch doesn't even know me.
as you sort of like rush in across the room, and you just sort of like you cleave her like straight up, like catching her kind of like in the side of the face as she sort of like staggers back away from him, like ripping the dagger out from his gut. She sort of just like looks at you with like these feral, flaming red eyes at the damage that she has received, which is not much. And with that, it is now Obelos' turn. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Abelos is just enjoying the view.
View.
I give you great axe. Help me.
Friend, this hurts. What is my distance between me and Osiris?
Oh, he's like 5 feet away from you.
Oh, that's not awful then. Yeah, I'm going to hand Osiris one of my potions of healing.
Sorry, go ahead. What did you say?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's like his mind is like an internet connection that keeps disconnecting.
Obelos, you did switch to broadband after getting out of dial-up, right? Satellite?
You're
No!
trying to read his thoughts and you just hear AOL dial-up noise.
Oh dear God! Don't make me get that fucking sound effect. All right, so what are you doing?
So, first off, Abelos is going to hand Osiris one of his potions of healing.
Oh,
Okay.
sounds good. And then what are you gonna do?
From there, I'm going to pull out the shield. I wasn't wielding anything at this point, so I'm going to pull out the shield and the warhammer, and I'm going to take a defensive stance to protect Osiris.
All right, that's a number of actions right there. But since you're not attacking, I'll let you do that
Ah, okay.
because you should technically not be able to pull out one of those extra weapons. But hey, I'll let you do it. Osiris, hey buddy, you feeling okay?
You doing good,
Is using a
buddy?
potion a bonus action?
It's already in your hand, so sure.
Okay, I'll just roll it then.
2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
It's not a
sure.
great roll, but it's good enough. It's a completely average roll.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, if you guys ever want me to, I can do really quickly the calculations, get your HP up and down, if you just want me to handle that for you.
I'm good.
You want me to do that for you, Osiris?
Wait, what?
I can just type in +6 to your HP and it'll add it.
Oh, okay, sure. Why not?
Sounds good. And +6. As long as the thing doesn't keep
Oh, there-
fucking glitching out for me. There you go, you're at
I
30.
already added it.
Oh, you already added it?
Yeah, it's 33.
Oh, 33? Alright, fine, I'll set it.
Yeah, you did. I didn't have 11. How that wants you?
There you go.
Yeah.
Alright, so now you have one last action to do. Oh,
Sure.
wait, I should have let you do that earlier, actually.
Yeah.
As you, after you took that stab, your eyes sort of like flare up from underneath the helm as you just like instinctively just hear this deep growling noise from inside of him. As then out of nowhere, his entire basically the slit in his helm just explodes with this hellish fire that just sears back against oh my god, are you fucking serious? There goes the one. As it sort of steers back against Alaris, as she just is like pushed back away afterwards. Sort of like she sort of like looks down and sort of like dismay of like the fire that's come out of her. It's like she's never seen him do something like that ever before. That said, you also have your regular action because that's a reaction you would have had to her attack. So you still can do one more attack.
All right. Well, why the hell not?
Okay, then. So, with a sudden fliss, you guys see that, at least from what some of you guys had heard rumors about, that he just sort of whips out this transforming weapon as it just, like, unfolds into this large, like, lengthy scythe weapon as he sort of dashes forward with the weapon and spirals it across the air, taking a large, heaping swipe in Laris's direction. Unfortunately, she sees the blade coming as it unfurls, and he sort of swings and she ducks underneath of it as it sort of slams into the countertop to the left-hand side. With that, he just like rips the entire blade back out into both of his hands, and with that brings it into your turn. Ruse, it's your turn. Yeah, remember that weapon he ordered back in campaign 1? It was finished finally.
Well, it's more like
All
finished 2 weeks ago. We just never got it.
Ruse, it's your
So-
turn now.
Reese is gonna take to a corner and kind of judge his distance so that his allies are on one side and everyone else is on the other.
That's basically
And-
just step to the right, and that's most of the enemies in the room.
Cool. He's going to ask kindly if this really needs to happen.
Excuse me?
Do you guys really have to actually fight us? Can nothing I can say right now really not decide to change your minds?
I don't think we
Are you casting suggestion?
No, I'm not.
You're just straight up asking all of them?
I'm asking before I cast.
Make a persuasion check.
All right.
With disadvantage.
Sure.
Sort of fucking god if you get like 18
This
still.
person has been dedicated in trying to kill this person.
What the fuck?
Fuck. Gavin, this isn't your day.
It says you're a heretic!
So as you sort of stuff, it's like you basically go like, wait, does this really actually have to keep going on? And at this point, like Alora's sort of like holding her face back from the flaming singe. The bugbear is sort of like back in the corner, sort of stammers. So everybody sort of just stops for a moment and sort of just takes this moment and just sort of reflect for a second here. There's the guy sort of looking around at everybody else for a brief moment. Then one of them puts their swords away, and the rest of them go like, what the fuck? And he sort of shrugs and goes like, I'm not dying for this.
I'm just going to add in at this point, like, I'd really rather not have to actually do anything. But I'm giving you a chance to leave.
So the guy's got to look around. Most of the bandits in the room kind of look around and go, oh, I'm not dying for this. And one of them goes like, he turned on his own people. We all do that. And they all sort of look around at each other, and then they just go. They just sort of sheathe their weapons. Then Nalaris is there going like, what is wrong with all of you? And they all look around at her, and they just sort of like shrug. And with that, they all sort of just quietly walk back out the front door. And Nalaris just sort of stammering back away from all of you, just goes like, this isn't over.
I shoot the sight and walk over and grab her by like the cloak and pull her close. Leave me be.
She just sort of looks at you and she just spits into your face and she says, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna find the others, and we're all going to come here and kill you.
Bring everyone if you want. Bring the damn guilt. I push her aside, like towards the door.
She sort of just like leans back there and sort of muttering to herself before she walks back there. She slams the door as she's leaving. With that, good job, guys.
How the fuck?
I wasn't expecting to actually get everyone to actually, drop.
They're
but whatever.
bandits. They're level like fucking like 1/4, man. They're not gonna. They're 1/8 level. You think they're gonna be able to like want to fight you guys?
I was kind of wondering why. Oh, I just got
You
stabbed.
might.
So everyone wants to like stab me too. It's like, oh,
It's because she said that you had killed all of your friends. So you
yeah,
were
I'm
seen
in
as
the
an
criminal
asshole.
hideout.
And with that, everybody kind of just is sort of there, and everybody sort of left. And that said, you kind of look back around behind you, and the bugbear is kind of still standing there, but it doesn't seem like he wants to take on all of you by himself. And the innkeep kind of like pokes his head back over the edge of the bar, and he's like, "Huh, can I help any of you?"
I'm gonna walk back over to the innkeep and I'm like, so, I just saved your fine establishment from fair certain harm. Could you please tell me if the man I was looking for is here and how I might be able to reach him?
You
I'd
rolled
really
a
not do
21
anything.
with disadvantage. You fucking cocksucker.
There's disadvantage. Doesn't mean he just rolled it twice.
Yeah, he rolled it twice. He rolled
basically.
He has like a +8, and he rolled a 13 twice. Jesus Christ. The guy kind of looks at all of you, and he just goes like, he holds up his hands and he goes like, okay, maybe I've seen the man. I don't know if he's still here, but you could check if you want.
I appreciate that.
Just, my friend here will open the door for you, okay? Just don't cause any issues.
Of course. And we will keep the noise to a minimum, of course.
So as you guys look back over towards the bugbear, he just sort of goes, and he just sort of heavily thunders back over towards the door as he just puts a big heavy hand, just like creaks the door heavily open. And there's a stairway descending back down to the back room.
Thank you, my fine friend. And we'll go straight down.
As you guys continue to walk downstairs, it's a fairly lengthy flight of stairs. Familiar with it, some of you, as you've taken it before. The only thing you notice that's different about this time is that as you walk down to the bottom, the familiar glow of light coming from sort of like the top and the bottom of the door at the foot of the stairs isn't there. The room beyond is dark.
Anyone carrying a light?
I bet
I
I
guess I
can spare a torch.
I have candles.
One of you has a light cantrip. Is your microphone working?
Yes.
There you are, sorry. Yeah, you can cast light cantrip to save people some stuff.
Okay. Where is it?
Yeah, it's just a cantrip, you don't have to show it to me. So with that, she sort of like holds a hand out to all of you, and a little like soft glowing amber light comes in her hand. Fancy. And with that, you walk up to the door, and are you just gonna go in? You don't know he's there.
Yeah.
Alright.
Don't really.
Well, as you open the door and you enter inside, let me find some good ambience for this moment right now. A second here. As I take a quick look over here, I'm sorry for a brief second. I think I know what it says. Yeah, okay, I have it all in here. That's fine. As you wander inside, the whole room on the inside is black. There are no candles lit inside this room, save for one. As you cast the light cantrip and walk inside, you find its effect dampened by the darkness in this room. It's enough to illuminate the area directly around you so you can see you and your friends and maybe about like 5 feet around you actually. But the darkness in here is thick. It's almost hard to breathe. You look over to the back corner of the room, sort of the back left-hand side.
Excuse me.
And there you find a table. There is a man sitting at that table, sort of to the left-hand side of it, sort of staring into the corner. He has his back towards all of you. You see, in his hand, he has it straight over to his left-hand side over the table. You see this black sort of leather glove, then a fancy kind of sleeve, holding a glass that has probably some rich red liquor in it, sort of spinning it around aimlessly. You also see, poking out of the top of the chair, a top hat. And on the table right to the side of it, next to the guy's hand, you can see a white porcelain mask resting there. And right now, nothing has happened yet, as you all have seemingly found him.
Is there anything else in the room that we can
You
tell
can barely
any other
see
people?
where the pit is. You can see some of the tables and chairs strewn about. You can't see anything. The back other right-hand corner of the room, even with the light, is black. Even with your dark vision, you can't see it. There's just no light there. The light doesn't even cast far enough for some strange reason. But you can clearly see right around where you are for about 10 feet at most. And you can clearly see about around 10 feet around the back corner where the table is.
At the very least, I'm just going to take like a step or two back, like kind of behind the party.
And as you do that, hold on. Nice roll, me. You see the guy in the chair sort of like, you see his head turn a little bit, and you see his hand go a little bit still. And then
Evening.
You hear this. Ah, children. I wasn't expecting you here. What brings you all the way down here to meet with little old me?
Part of the job.
Job? Unaware of any kind of job I'm involved with?
Maybe not yourself, but I have been trying to get a hold of the elusive you for quite some time.
There seems to be a number of people who've been trying to get a hold of me for quite some time. Well, I have to say, what's your reason for it? As he says, he sort of like takes another sip of his glass. By the way, you cannot see his face at this point, even though his mask is off.
Not my place to really know that. Simply doing it for another person. Asked to have me bring you in. He says you're familiar with him.
I'm familiar with a number of people, boy. I'm familiar even with yourself, Ruse. In fact, I know all of you. Ruse, Obelos, Cyrus, Urania. Seems to be quite a number of you are missing, and, I haven't met you before, honest. I met some of your compatriots earlier. Several weeks ago, actually. Tell me, are you a cleric?
Yes.
So you hear his hand kind of slipping over the glass a little bit as he's sort of tightening his wrist over it, and then he just sort of lets it go again. You hear the glass kind of rattling a little bit in his hand. Those devoted to Helm have been horrible people, really. Nothing but a complete stain on this entire city. And been horribly inconvenient to me. To say the least. Honest, I hope that you're not involved with them.
Absolutely.
So this has them involved in this as well. I didn't quite realize my popularity had spread so far. All I've been doing is helping everyone that I can, and yet so much hostility here.
Comes with the territory. If you know me, then I'm sure you know my tale.
I've heard very little about you, Ruse. All I've heard is that people hate you. I've heard many people hate you. They think that you're the complete bane of their entire existence, the entire near downfall of their town. I'd say tales were supposed to be sung in your honor for all the great things that you've done, but no one cares. No one will ever care. Certainly not me or anybody standing around you.
Alas, it's quite true. Regardless, I still move on.
Looks back.
And-
He kind of like glances back over again before taking his drink one more time. And after putting it back down, he goes, "You all have horrible problems in your lives. Putting me in prison isn't going to solve any of that. On the other hand, working with me could solve quite a number of good things for you. Certainly you could have asked some of your friends. They could tell you how much I've helped them.
Perhaps I'll get that chance at some time. For now, I'll just see fit that I actually complete one job at a time.
Are you all really fit to try and bring me in?
I'm just
Certainly hoping to try.
Try you will, dear. I'm not going anywhere. Not you, not anyone that's come before you will bring me in. I am doing what I see fit to make the world a better place. And I could
Well,
help
it's
all of
obviously not working.
Wow, you really said that to his face.
He just slams the glass down on the table, sort of angrily. It's kind of empty now at this point. And he goes, Dear, I know you watch your tongue very carefully. What you say to everyone around you. You should do the same courtesy for me. I might not be as forgiving or understanding as people who catch you lying, as you do. With that, he sort of looks back over at, again, once more you. And then he just sort of lets go of the glass, puts a hand on his mask. He doesn't pick it up, he sort of runs his fingers over it for a second there. And then he says, I met a very interesting fellow here. He recognized a couple of you, actually. At least, from what he told me. He was a horrible, destitute soul, drinking his sorrows away. You had come into this place once before, have you not?
Just gonna kind of look back and say like, this place seems to be a place of those that need a way to escape. What of it?
Well, it's horrible, really, but this man described that you and your friends all came here and murdered his friends. All of them. His poor captain that he served under, taken into custody, executed later the next day. He had nothing. Not the ship, not a crew, no one. He had lost everything, and you didn't even have the courtesy to end his life like you did to all 11 of his friends. It's okay, though, really. Unlike you, I'm not a horrible, innate human being. I helped him. I helped him become what he had always dreamed of being. The greatest pirate to ever sail the seas.
So far.
And how fortunate of a reunion for you to have here with him. You hear footsteps from the darkness to the side of the room. What are your actions?
Well, we just lost your Urania.
Oh, she popped down.
She had to go.
She had to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, she had to leave.
I
She's
guess.
Sat down. She's just sitting down,
Um,
having a nice little break.
Well, I guess
She heard the footsteps and ran.
Fair enough.
What I'm gonna do is come up behind Bruce, put a hand on his shoulder, and say, "Get everyone out of here. Find the guards. Get the place surrounded."
Do you really think that would be enough?
Considering
Just
the
do
fact that
it.
you have to remember that at this point, you are currently standing at 4 people.
Bruce. Get out of here.
retreat.
So are you gonna leave, Ruse?
I'm telling everyone to leave.
You're telling everyone to leave. Oh, but you're gonna
Yeah.
stay?
Yeah.
Interesting. Are you all gonna leave and leave him alone?
Mm.
No, Belos will stick with him.
I'd like to run one check real quick.
Go ahead.
I'd like to run an Arcana check to see if this mist is magical.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
The entire room around you is crackling with necrotic energy.
Right.
No.
You will die if you stay here. Get everyone out of here. Get the guards.
I'm gonna go get the guards.
Ruse is kind of just going to look at Osiris and said, "You know, he wasn't lying. And with a life like mine, practically already dead, lad."
I know he wasn't lying.
And if he's already turned his sights on us, even if just for this, it's not going to be much place to run.
It's fine.
I'll take-
We can regroup later.
I'll
Let's
take my
escape and get
chances.
this figured out first.
I'm waiting to actually see at least what shows up first.
All right.
Belos has a shield and Warhammer at the ready.
So, you hear the footsteps grow louder as a heavy slumbering sound of moistened flesh kind of slaps its way across the floor towards you from the darkened corner on the other side of the room. You can't really clearly see until it gets within a few feet of you from the light that's glinting off of its slimy skin. And then, as it just cruxes into the edge of your vision, you see the image of a hulking, burlyish humanoid twisted abomination who looks like some sort of sea creature hybrid with these large ferocious talons and large manging claws with this twisted deformed human face as it just sort of looks at all of you with this sort of like insatiable hatred in his eyes. Screams at you. Roll for
It's
initiative.
Davy Jones.
We're really doing this? No one's gonna run.
Currently, we have one person that ran to go get help.
Yeah, I went to get guards.
And one
Oh
person
wait,
that ran because
wait! You're gonna fight this with 3 people?
I'm trying to convince people to leave.
All
I'm
right,
getting
buddy,
more.
let's go.
Hey, we
I'm trying-
Y'all are gonna die.
Let's
I
go.
I'm trying to
To be
get these
fair-
people to leave.
Devin's fine,
to
I'm
be
gonna get
fair,
what he wants.
our way out has not been blocked yet,
Exactly.
so we have a way to escape if we need to.
What do you mean if?
For
I'm
now.
going to fight this thing anyways.
We better not.
You don't want to?
Ruse is just gonna pat Osiris on the back and just say, "Come on, lad. Sometimes
Oh, Bellas, what are you fucking serious? What's your dex mod?
That's not as too.
Your dex mod is 2?
Yeah.
Oh dear fucking god. You're tied with this thing actually. He also rolled a 1 as a dex mod of 2. Here, hold on. Roll a d20.
Roll again?
Oh, roll a d20.
I'm gonna go ahead and give Osiris a bardic inspiration.
And now I get a 20. Okay, now the enemy goes first.
Wow.
Oh, what a fucking roll on my half. Anyway, yeah, there we go. There's your order.
It's a good thing I have a shield.
Alright, hold on while I just nudge that down a little bit. And alright. Hey guys, Ruse, it's your turn.
All right. So before combat, did you hear what I said?
No, what was it?
I'm throwing a bardic inspiration at Osiris and just like, hey, come on. You probably faced worse. And then
I just realized you guys lost your healers.
I can heal. It's fine.
Oh my god, here it comes.
If you guys drop low enough, or if I die, I'm gonna drag you out there.
Oh dear
Yeah,
god,
that'll be
let's
fine.
go!
Stuff alive,
Let's
all AD,
go!
but
Gavin's gonna kill someone tonight!
I hate all
I'm
of
happy
you.
about it too.
We could have left.
Here you go.
Fairy
Let's see
fire.
how fast it moves.
You have fairy fire. Well, let's take a quick look here.
that's
And
not
it fails. So, attack rolls against the illuminated of advantage. All right, sounds good. So as you just sort of like hold out your hand here towards the creature, this like holy light of vestiges of like crackling energy sort of like sparkles out away from it as the entire creature's body sort of just radiates this like luminescent glow as it sort of just staggers back a brief moment as it just sort of like returns to hissing violently at you, debuffed by the spell that you've cast. Osiris, it is now your turn.
Alright. I look back over at Ruse and just say, "You're suicidal."
Now you got it.
Well, I guess I'll cast. Where is it?
I like how nobody's questioned about it, going like, Osiris can cast spells?
Where is it?
You can just do that, I guess.
Well, I mean, he did level up a couple of times while we were gone. So
Yeah, he's leveled up a bunch since you guys have been gone.
Yep.
We stuck around to fight giant thing without healers. Abellis is not surprised at anything right now.
Fair enough. I think you guys are lucky that the last fight didn't render half of you. You're dead.
Well,
Well, it rendered two of us.
let's
here,
see if my attack even lands. Hold on.
Hey, you have a
1d6?
have
It's
advantage,
advantage, yeah, roll with advantage. Because of fairy
Oh.
fire. This is where the crit happens, isn't it?
probably.
No, it's not the crit. Alright, and are you I have gonna take a while to get oh.
And I should mention. Where is it? Okay, I guess it's not here.
Yeah, where is it?
Well, first of all, does the attack land?
Yes, it does.
As I want it, as it halfway, begins to like swing towards it. I want it to engulf in necrotic energy.
Alright, sounds good. Because I know what you're doing now. So, as he draws the blade, the scythe off into his hand, you see Osiris take the palm of his hand and just run it down the edge of the blade, just coating into this like thick, oily blood of his. And then as he swings the blade back and rushes in towards the creature, you see the flames on the blade just ignite from his blood as just explosion of black fire just engulfs the edge of his blade. And as the creature sort of like watches in wide-eyed terror as the blade just rushes in there, it sort of just slashes and reaps down the side of his body, and the necrotic energy just seeping into his body very like heavily. Now I think that you can't do your second follow-up attack with that scythe, can you?
No, the buff was a bonus action.
What was the 2 damage for?
Oh, that was to make sure it hit.
Oh, okay, so
that
it's
should,
just
that should have been a
That's-
1d8 right now, if you were using your bardic inspiration that I gave you.
It was a 1d8.
Yeah,
Oh.
it boosted up.
Should I count that or?
It's okay, Miu. Let's see you in chat. So that's this plus let's do it there. All right, cool. So with this big
Is that
reaping,
bardic inspiration gonna count then?
bardic inspiration adds towards the damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll the proper d8 then,
Okay.
because it counts towards hitting and fuck. So with this like heavy like reaping scythe, you just sort of slash across the creature. You just see this big deeping gouge just sort of just like run through its entire body, and then it's just like explosion of purple flames just sort of like natureated as the creature just sort of like reels back and like as it just sort of falls back away from you for a second. You just sort of like take a triumphant stance in front of it, maintaining the necrotic flames on the edge of your blade. With that, The creature turns back towards you, and oh my god, I'm so happy because this thing has Blood Frenzy, which means it has advantage on every attack on anybody who is not at full HP.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I had a feeling.
As the creature
Wow.
just turns back towards you, and sort of just gives you another, like, feral scream.
It's adorable.
I will go ahead and throw out another Bardic Inspiration to.
Can you do that really at this
from
point in
your
time?
attack.
Really? You can
Yeah.
do this at this point in time? Sorry,
I can do this as a reaction.
Sounds good. The creature rushes in and
And you lose 7 to whatever you roll.
7 to whatever I roll. Wow, that was the chance to hit with that move. Fuck. So with that, as you sort of like you graciously bless Osiris furthermore, the creature lunges in with its gaping giant maw as it sort of just slams its teeth down on top of it. It seems to be forcibly pushed away from him as it just snaps down like an inch away from his body. Before reeling back with one of its massively taloned claws to rake it right down across through the air, slashing by, missing him narrowly inches around his neck again, before the creature turns back once more for one final swing. Yeah, there you go, finally. Jesus fucking Christ. As the last swing connects in against the creature, or against Osiris's body, with a nice, hey, we got a sound effect for that, right? Yeah, I don't know how to deal with this. I'm a little bit, like, slow on it because I've got a lot of sounds. But hey, it's sort of like, as it cuts in across his armor and just sort of like, gouges in across nearby his upper torso, just narrowly missing his neck. And with that, he deals... Good roll. That's 12 damage he deals to you with that swing.
Okay.
I will minus it from your health. There you go. And with that... Obelus, it's your turn now.
So is it still illuminated? Do we still get it?
You have advantage for the next minute.
Okay. And turns definitely land.
Ah, my monitor!
figured
It's turned
it out.
off. There we go, it's back.
Turn it back off. You don't need to see this.
Turn it back off. Well, it's just my second monitor. It's where all the information is. It's okay, Miyu. Thanks for kicking around. Don't worry, you won't be too missed. Hopefully, if nobody dies.
I blame everyone
I
here.
assume basically at this
thinking
point,
to
Faunus
stay in this fight.
grabbed Urania and ran out of the room with her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds like what they would do.
That's lore, guys. There you go. Hey, Obelus, what are you doing?
How long is it gonna take for them to get the guards?
We're gonna stick with shield and warhammer. We're just going for regular attack with it.
You have advantage.
Yep.
Ooh, do you have more attacks?
I have one extra attack.
Go for it.
Okay, I just realized I had an extra attack. I completely forgot.
There's our prone.
There you go. I was going to say, the first one, as you rush in against this creature after it comes at it, sort of just like you rush in with the hammer to take a swing at it. It actually like takes your hammer and just slams it aside with the base of its hands. You're actually like impressed by the power behind its driving force, but you just like unsuspectingly just bring the shield in, push it back a little bit forward before you just bring the hammer right down on the top of its head, cracking it straight into the skull as it just falls prone to the floor. It's a good hit. And Ruse, it's your turn again. It's prone right now.
Yeah. Cruz is gonna walk up. He's going to point his crossbow at the actual thing's head. He's simply going to say, "Boo."
Are you serious right now? Wait, this also requires concentration like Fairy Fire. Are you willing to give up Fairy Fire for fear?
It's fire. Okay. Is that I didn't realize that was a concentration.
Yeah, they're both concentration. So what are you gonna do then?
All right, I won't use that then. We'll just go ahead and shoot it in the face.
All right, take a shot. There's a shot for you. So with that, you just point the crossbow off as you maintain concentration over the spell as you unleash the bolt. And you square it, so like basically square in the shoulder, basically, as the creature's like... Oh, I just remembered, actually. It didn't matter, but when creatures are prone, they actually have advantage on, like, shots missing them with ranged weapons. But that doesn't matter. It would have hit anyway.
Well, I have close range combat.
Oh, you do? Oh, fuck it. Never mind, then.
Yep.
So as you just unleash the bolt straight into the creature's shoulder, sort of digging it in right at the base of its neck as, like, blood starts pooling back out, you hear it just sort of squirm a bit on the ground for a bit as it just, like, grabs the bolt and just throws it out of its body. Nice shots.
I'll take the rest of my time to reload and kind of apologize for everything that's going to be happening.
Osiris, it's your turn now.
Let's see. I still have another it's called Bardic Inspiration, right?
Currently, no.
No,
Unless
you already used it.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't give me another? Oh, right. No, that was... Never mind. Alright.
No, I've thrown it out to...
You threw it out to make it so the creature missed.
Yeah. Alright, well... I guess I'll use 2 attacks and then transforming.
That's right, because you have extra attack, don't you?
Yep.
Alright, so you're going to attack it twice with your extended form, and then you're going to transform it and attack it again with... Jesus Christ!
Crit.
And then you're going to fold it in, Jesus Christ! So with a flurry of, like, oh, by the way, yeah, there's, like, a necrotic damage on every hit. Yeah, roll that dice 2 more times. Oh my god, are you fucking serious? As he just sort of, like, you see him just, like, he brings the blade up overhand, he just sort of just digs it deep into the creature's back before, like, tearing it out sideways, before reaping it back in around the side. You actually see the creature, like, raise up its arm and just sort of, like, sinks into the blade, just, like, tears off a massive amount of flesh, one of its fingers going with it, the fire spreading across its arm at that point, before he transforms the weapon into this compacted, like, arm felt, like, length blade, and just rushes in with it and just uppercuts the creature, just splitting its jaw down the middle. And you deal 10, 16, 26, 30... That's... Fucking... Hold on.
Delicious damage.
It's not just dead. Fuck you. 16, 8, plus 4, plus 3, plus 2. That is...
Take it.
Are you fucking serious?
So, Gavin.
I did 43
Well,
damage.
Gavin?
Oh, it had... I need to do the math very carefully right now.
Okay.
It had 43 health. So with this flurry of attacks, you sort of just, like... You rush in against it with your flaming blade at it as you jam the thing straight down into the side of its back as you just then rip it out with gusto. And with a nice another slash, you bring it around, taking off the creature's hand as it sort of like cries out wildly. And then with one final swing, you just jam it straight up through its jaw, the blade poking out the back of its head. And then with one final flourish, you pull it back out and the creature falls to the ground, cold and still and lifeless. I buffed that creature and you killed it in one turn so fast I couldn't do anything.
And what was this about us dying?
I was so sure someone was gonna.
And Osiris didn't even, take advantage on his folded.
I need healing.
Anyway,
right.
that's my monster right now. So with that, the creature sort of falls back down to the ground. Still cold and lifeless. The rest of you sort of just brushing off the attack that just sort of happened. You turn back towards Alvius.
Well, first of all, I turn back to Bruce and say, "There's your show."
Well done.
Low clap.
Now then,
You see sort of a hand kind of just, you hear this applaud just going like... And then you see his hand just pick up the glass again that he had next to him as he tosses it across the room. And with that, he picks up his mask and you see him just fit it back over top of his face with a large click. It goes back into place as he pushes back from the chair and turns back to face all of you. He looks at the creature that you guys have just slain. He looks back up at you and he goes, "What right do you or any person here have to judge me as a guilty person, worse and worthy of condemnation than any of you here? I helped that man ascend to something far greater than he was ever going to become in life, and yet you label me a criminal? You're all murderers."
Quite so. However, I'm not here to actually judge. I'm simply here to be the delivery boy.
Yes. And as they always say, the delivery boy is always the one who's first to get the flames of war.
Who says that?
He looks at Osiris, or Obelos, and then he looks back over at Osiris and Ruse, and he says, "You don't want this fight, gentlemen."
You two, leave.
Can you guarantee that he'll come if we do?
Abelus is not leaving without everyone.
Here's 20 gold, leave.
Okay.
Rolled a 20 on persuasion.
I'm serious. I will subtract 20 and shove it into his arms and tell him to leave.
Abelus accept that right away.
Okay, done. One person.
Ruse, you and Osiris now remain in the room alone with Malvius.
Listen, I greatly appreciate the help, but you do not know what you're getting yourself into. You found him. You at least found him. Make sure the guards are in the area. You did your job here.
Just make sure he doesn't leave.
Unless I'm a corpse, he won't.
Cruz is just gonna kind of look at him. He's like, "Well, you already looked the part." He's just gonna walk out.
Malvius walks up slowly towards you, Osiris, as your party members leave. Still leaving about maybe 10 feet between the two of you, and he looks at you and he goes, "Now why would you do that?"
You knew we were coming here, didn't you? Why put up the show?
He looks around at everything else here and he says, "I have very little to entertain myself with these days. You think I really care about trying to help out some poor washed up sap?" as he points over the corpse on the ground. "That man got what he deserved."
Quite so, I had to tie up some loose ends.
But still, your friends intend to arrest me.
You look for entertainment, don't you?
What are you getting
After-
at?
I saw your potential when you saved me back there from those 14 men.
You didn't see anything. Got a sack
I
over
heard.
your head. I took pity on you and your life just because of those damned ironed hands.
I at least overheard you then. But my point is, I don't see you staying there at all. I don't know why you would have resisted to begin with.
It's quite true that me being locked away in a prison is far not a concern of mine. But your friends are becoming quite irritable in me and my methods. He looks back up the stairs kind of a ways and he goes like, if I can't make a deal with anyone, then there's simply a problem that I have to overlook. For the moment they try to impede upon me, then they become my enemy. And your friends are getting dangerously close to doing that.
You look to make deals. What kind? To those in need? Those with great desires?
I make deals for the sake of making contracts, boy. You know that.
I know very full well. As he kind of rubs the arm that was stabbed. Well, to be quite honest, if you manage to get away here, we're just constantly going to be sent after you anyways, being more bothersome than ever. Well, quite frankly, you could kill us right now anyways. But if you're looking to make deals, wouldn't prison be quite suited for you?
Sort of just runs a hand over his chin for a moment there as he thinks for a second. You are recommending that I simply give up.
We both know that you can't stay there anyways.
Yes. You certainly give me an excuse to deal with a lot of bothersome individuals, but it seems to be now that there are some other individuals who need to be attended to. Yet you assume that I can simply burn some time to make a few more measly contracts in prison.
To be quite honest, I do enjoy what you did to me. You saw that display as best as you can from over there anyways.
You are fortunate that I gave you actual power that was controllable. Do not remember the fact, do not forget the fact, darkness lives within you. Darkness that I put there.
I thought I felt something entering me. Much more than...
And if I want you to die, I can will it. I can will you to do many things for me. Why don't I just will you to die now? Get out of my way so I can leave.
I was hoping you can help me become even stronger than before.
Even stronger! You wish to deal more with me!
You have complete control over me anyways. I can't at least make some request?
Sort of just continues to run a finger as he turns his back now towards you, and he says, so you wish me to spare your friends and the lives of many innocent people and go to prison just so that way I can make a few more contracts. Are you not simply buying time?
Buying time for the guards to arrive, you could leave as you want right now anyways.
I meant simply for you to find a way out of your contract.
No. I'm getting the feeling that I would lose all the things you gave me if I got...
Even I don't know exactly what will happen if something were to happen to me, to anyone who's been bound by my contracts, but one would say that wouldn't quite be pretty. Still, your proposition is entirely void of madness, but sort of looks around the room a bit and then looks back towards him and he goes, it seems to be that the criminal scum of this world are more than willing to make deals than the likes of the people I've dealt with around you lately.
I at the very least have some compatriots, as I kind of hold my side, that I wish to dispose of myself. Oh, so they like the strength to deal with them accordingly.
Well then. And before he says anything else, the door bursts in behind Osiris. And with it, Ruse, Urania, technically, Faunus, Obelos, you all come back in, and flooding in behind you is 30 to 40 city guards.
I did it! Took a little bit, but we got back.
And with that, the guards all sort of like aim their spears and weapons at him as they all yell. What the fuck? Oh my god. As they yell at him. You! Malvius, you are under arrest in the name of the City Watch! You be taken into custody now! As he sort of just looks back and forth at the sheer wave of men who came into the room. He just sighs to himself and goes, "Ah, what a world I have come to." Puts up his hands. With that, one of the guards steps forward, kind of meekishly, just kind of coaxing the rest of the guards to also come with him. They all are just keeping their weapons drawn. They sort of circle in around him, keeping like a bit of a distance from him at first, just before one of the guard captains walks in behind him and grabs him forcibly by the wrist and shackles his arms closed. And with that, he just sort of pushes him forward and goes like, "Get moving." And with that, as Malvius passes by Osiris, he says to him, "If all of this turns out to be for nothing, I will end your contract." And then he walks up throughout the stairs as all the guards sort of file in after him, leaving Faunus, Urania technically, Obelos and Ruse and Osiris in the room alone.
Is the room lighting up with him leaving?
The darkness, it isn't as intense, but there's still only one candle source. If Urania's in the room casting her light cantrip, you can see clearly in the room now.
Took you long enough.
Yes, well, what do you expect, city guard?
Just goes to show how they're terrible at patrolling this area.
It's a big city. So, sounds like you got yourself into a bit of a situation, so to say.
What are you talking about?
Forget I said it. We all have our own skeletons to deal with.
And with that, you all just sort of file back up out of the room. As you come up to the surface area there, you find that the bugbear and the innkeeper are gone. A number of the guards are still sitting around at the inside of the room, sort of searching around through it. This is a hotspot of criminal activity after all? And as you step back outside into the town, it's late at night. Late at night, but just sort of just heading into the crux of the evening. It's just gotten dark. You actually see a number of the city guards disappearing in a large flank down throughout the streets. A few people watching with their eyes at the one singular dark-cloaked man in amongst the circle of like 30 people taking him in. You see him disappear off towards the southern reach of the docks. Off towards what you can see is this mighty large fortress down near the waterfront.
Well, here's to hoping that they didn't bite off more than they can chew.
I just stay silent.
Faunus, anything to say?
I guess we'll just have to hope then.
Either. How much are you getting?
Osiris, do you need any healing? You seem pretty badly banged up.
Breeze will kind of just pat him on the back and be like, I'm sure he'll be fine, and I'll go ahead and cast Healing Word on him.
All right.
And I'll even, exploit that and run that up to a level 3, so I'll roll another 2d4.
Nice healing roll. Yes, very nice. Isn't that 15 health? I'll add that in quickly
30.
for you. It's plus 15. 36. So with that, you guys, having your job now handled, you head off back towards the Black Diamond Inn to seemingly report back to Titus that you've successfully arrested Malvius, despite literally so much going right.
I'm really sorry, Gavin. I'm sure I kind of ruined this night for you.
I feel like these sessions are just Gavin slowly going insane at this point.
Well, you ruined the second half. You already ruined the first half with the tree.
That was actually improv because I didn't plan for you guys to just walk.
I was not planning to walk.
I
either.
also
was
didn't
just like,
plan
oh,
for the
shit.
fucking 20 on the food gathering and the 20 on the firewood gathering.
You were just
anyway.
like, wow, shit. All right.
As you guys head back towards the Black Diamond Inn, it doesn't take you too long of a bit of a walk. You enter in now through the front doors. It's pretty quiet at this point. Not many people there. You don't see Naomi there right away. As you guys walk upstairs, you see that two of the guards are still there on the outside of the doors at the very least. As you walk inside of his office, you find that the other two on the inside have been relieved, it seems, as they're not there. Titus is there, though, as he's sort of just, like, irritantly looking over his desk, just sort of, like, tapping his fingers. He's staring blankly at sheets of paper in front of him as he looks at you as he comes back, and he goes, like, is it done?
For the most part. It's up to your men at this point, but considering how long it took them to get to the actual establishment...
He sort of
I
just
have my
shakes his head a
concerns.
little bit. He says, it took a long time to gather the men more than anything else. We wanted to make sure we rushed him with as many men as possible. Malvius is not a simple force to be trifled with.
Yes, I kind of got that feeling from him.
Well, he's going to be taken to the Ivory Keep. And there, we don't really care what happens to him. We're just going to have him held there by the Iron Fist.
Is he really going to be able to stay in there?
No one has escaped the Iron Fist. Or the Ivory Keep.
So far.
So far is right. To be fair, it's difficult to even lock him up in there. We don't have control over that keep. The Iron Fist are the one that control that for right now, but I think they'll be more than willing to accommodate him considering his nature. Anyway, he looks over at the vault that's beside him. You see him, well, underneath his desk, the familiar vault that he's gone into a few times. You hear him open it, and with a grunches kind of like motion, he lifts out one large sack of coins and lays it down the table, and then reaches in again, and pulls out another one, and then reaches in again, and pulls out another one. And then he says, 1,800 gold pieces. That was Malvius's bounty. You've done the Sorority a great service by capturing him.
I'll take it all.
Breeze is just like, you'll get your share.
You're lucky we survived that after you made us stay in that.
I had complete faith that we would be fine.
You sure about that?
None of us came to harm. Well, I suppose the rogue here did, but that was on a completely unrelated note.
Yes, completely unrelated.
Well, anyway, you should probably get some rest.
Hey, do you all hear something?
Mhm.
And then suddenly, Titus is thrown backwards through his window. And you hear him just careen down off of the roof into the streets below.
Oh shit. Breeze will go to the window.
You look outside the window and you see him fall all the way down to the ground. The heavy thud. You hear him just sort of sickeningly groan while he's down there. You hear him like holding his side or his chest basically as he sort of like try to grovels a bit to go around, leaning around. The guards at the doors just burst in through the doorway and they see you guys stand there with the Titus missing, the window shattered. And they also just push past all of you as they rush up to the front door and they go like, "Something's happened! Quick, go down to him!" As they rush out towards the door.
We better get
Distance
down
from
there.
the ground?
You see, you could probably jump out the window and then you could just like fall a very light story and then jump off the awning, or like not on the awning, but just like the outcropping of the roof, and then jump down. So you could jump down the window.
I'll jump
guess
down.
I'll do that. I'll do that too.
That would be fastest.
Well, there you go. Give me all acrobatics checks.
Oh, okay.
All right.
There you go.
Fuck, okay, never mind. You all make it very easily. As you land down there on the
Yay.
ground, you find Titus just sort of like groveling on the ground, just like, as he's like fallen basically almost a full story down to the ground, and he's not looking too good. You guys sort of look around the streets and you see nothing.
Something just through the sky. You quite all right? Other than the entire thrown out of a window.
Sort of grovels and rolls around on the ground for a second. They're unable to really breathe for a second as he catches his breath.
I'm going to attempt to... I hear something, so I'm going to attempt to find out where the noise is coming from. So, break his perception, or...
Let's take a quick look here. And, unfortunately, you aren't able to see anything before suddenly out of nowhere. Let's take a quick look here. I'll take a look through here. You hear this, sickening as Titus is knocked straight up out into the air once more, as he's knocked further away from you, like 5 feet across the ground, as he sort of skids there. For a moment, you see the air shimmer as it does so, as if the air itself threw him. Sort of just grunts and falls to the ground again.
Fuck.
Can any of you do detect magic? I can detect evil and good, but I can't detect magic.
You could try detect evil and good. I mean, who's to say this thing isn't good or evil?
I'll do it.
All right.
Just because.
So as you detect good and evil, you just sort of like an ethereal flame kind of covering over top of your eyes. You stare out towards where Titus was, and from there you see this hulking shape radiating magic around him as this sort of bipedal, tendrilled creature with a sinisterly Cthulhian face, and then it sort of stops. As if it knows that you're looking at it and turns back towards you. And then it howls horribly at you.
No, sir, not a fan of that.
Hey guys, roll for initiative one last time.
Oops. Ding.
Shit.
It's okay. There you go. Hey, Obelos, it's your turn.
Okay, bet.
Obelos, you can't see this thing, but you hear probably Faunus yell out that it's in general direction of where it is.
Abalos is gonna pull out his maul. Beyond that, he's gonna walk forward. Not too far. Let's say he walks forward about 15 feet and takes a defensive stance.
Alright, sounds good. Ruse, it's your turn now.
So Arenia said that there was something there.
Yeah, she's pointed in a general direction of where this thing is. You can't directly see it, though.
Ruse is going to
Alright, I'm back.
take his dagger and rush forward while casting Dispel Magic and seeing if I can get rid of the invisibility.
Oh, sounds good. Go ahead, take an attack at it. Normal attack roll, as you've been you've told where to spot the thing.
Alright, this says throwing dagger, but it's still just...
Nice attack. I didn't notice how much HP this thing has. Hold on really quickly. I need to make a quick GM roll.
I did not actually... We did not get a short rest before this shit.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's what I thought. I like how like
Okay.
anybody who's watching the stream is gonna go like, "Oh dear Christ!"
Hey,
Yeah,
okay.
we haven't had any rest at all, so I still have 5 temp HP from the first fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you attack with your dagger as you rush forward, and as you do, you just you coat the blade magically within the dispel magic spell, and the arcing slash. You hear this creature cry out once more as the attack rakes through its ethereal being, as it just sort of like screeches violently. You see this like dispelling magic follow off the edge of your blaze. Yeah, there's Dustin going like fuck. As the etherealness just sort of like rakes away, you see this blue, like sort of misting blood slowly dissipate to the air. However, the creature is not visible.
Really making me work for my money, aren't you?
Hey, Gavin.
Yeah.
I am gonna have to take a leave, so I don't know if you could take control over him and just like Osiris and have him do attacks, or
Fair enough.
yeah.
I can do that for you.
All right. Yeah, because I'm not gonna leave. You can have just
Later.
have no dialogue for the whole time. So
Yeah,
whatever.
sure.
Yeah,
Have a good night.
just don't get me killed.
Oh, I'll
Later,
try,
V.
I'll try really not to.
No promises.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Later. So, with that, you don't really catch sight of the creature again. And, but before anything else happens, you see Titus sort of get back up onto his feet. And as he does so, you see him just cry out again as he is struck down hard into the ground again. Faunus, you actually watch as the creature just lunges in towards him with one of its flailing tendril arms, just slams him into the ground. There's actually dirt kicked up into the air as he does so. You see blood running down from the back of his head. And it doesn't stop there as it reels back and swings again. And this time, oh my god.
I don't like that, Gavin. I don't like
Well,
the
Why
silence.
did you roll that?
Oh my god. So here we go. You hear this creature cry out one last triumphant time. Before it brings its tendrils back down. And you see Titus go still into the ground. As he ceases to move.
That's not good.
That's not a good sign.
And with that, Faunus, it's your turn.
You have a way to resurrect dead?
I only have Spare the Dying.
Or cleric. Okay.
By the way, the creature crit that second.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh boy, it happened fast.
I'm going to Spirit Guardians.
Do you have Revivify by any chance?
Revive?
Revivify. It's the cleric spell.
No.
Well, that is a dying shame.
It's real unfortunate, I have to say. I only have Spare the Dying. That is all I have.
Yeah, that's not going to do it. Or they might.
I can try.
Well, first things first, we're gonna have to try and deal with this guy.
Yeah.
And
Spirit Guardians.
we have to hope that he didn't just crit to double his health. Anyways, enough possible metagaming. Take your turn.
Let's take a look here.
Good.
So you can actually see it, so that's pretty good.
Oh, we can see
Ah.
it now? Or she can.
Oh, I just realized something.
Oh.
Let's take back another 3 HP because actually it was resistant to the only damage it's actually taken. Let's take a look at this here though. So as you cast the Spear Guardians, you just the holy radiant aura just like flashes out around from where you are, encompassing the creature within this radius. The searing energy, sort of, you see it burn off of its invisible body, actually igniting the creature briefly for a second as it becomes visible to the rest of you, as it sort of just harrows back in like pain for a second as it's burned by this holy radiant power. Faunus, is there any other action you'd like to take? Bonus action? Keep in mind it can't be a spell because it requires concentration. You can maintain this one.
I'm going to try and hit it with my crossbow.
Sorry, can you say that one more time?
I'm going to try to hit it with my crossbow.
Is
I
the
will
crossbow
say-
single-handed?
Is it single-handed? Is it a hand crossbow?
It's a light crossbow.
No,
Too heavy.
you can't. It's too much to use for a bonus action. Then can't be
All right,
offhanded.
well, I have my short sword.
I will.
That'll work.
I'll let you take a swing at that. I'll adjust the math accordingly for an offhanded attack. Take a swing. You can see it, so it's just fine. Unfortunately, as you just rush in to try and singe the creature here, it sees you coming and just with effortless ease dives out of the air as it just dodges aside of your blade. And with that, it's Osiris's turn. Now, if I were Osiris, I'd be like, "Oh, Metal Gear," and then I would rush in with my I'd rush in with my my scythe, and it probably would be extended knowing me. Now I'm just gonna very, very quickly roleplay this character really hard. So let's say that he's like, oh, I'm gonna attack this thing with my extended scythe. I slash it out and transform it into my thing. So I'm gonna go take a slash at it. And, Metal Gear. Oh, look at that! I probably hit. I'm gonna slash it again with my extra attack. Oh, I crit the fucker! Holy shit! And then I'm gonna transform it, and then I'm gonna transform it back. And oh fuck it! I'll do a versatile attack when I attack it again. Jesus Christ! And as I do it, I'm gonna edge my hand to the blade, casting it on fire as I roll like 1d4 like for fucking 3 more times. Fuck. Well, that was consistent. As he sort of just runs in with this flurry of attacks, just with like a reaping swing, he just goes like slash and then slash it again. Well, I mean, like I could do the sound effects if you guys really, really, really cared. It's basically going to be a lot like him just going like huzzah! And then he's gonna go huzzah! And then he's gonna go like huzzah! And as the creature just takes 3 heavy blows to its body, just sort of like you see the air like tearing away as the necrotic flame just spreads in, mixing with the radiant, just sort of like dousing into this like hot, vibrant kind of darkened steam, or blackened steam. I mean, as the creature is taken, hey guys, it's take 10 plus 20.
42 plus
12
45
plus
damage.
3, take 45 damage. Hey, I'm gonna just really quickly do the math right here to just realize how much it's like. I accidentally did 1,000, but no, hold on here. No, that's a division. That's a division sign. Fucking like, there we go. It's still fine. Anyway, fuck all of you. As Osiris just like sort of rakes heavily into this thing. That's probably his turn. Hey, Bellis, it's your turn now. I've crit myself so many times rolling for you people. Also, that's like 2 like max damage rolls in there, even on the crit. Like fuck, he got a max damage roll on on the crit. Are you serious?
Almost.
No, he did, because like that's just the D10, doesn't add the modifier for
the crit damage.
Yeah. Like he,
but not for the full.
No, he did not for the full damage. I was just like, Jesus Christ. He wasn't gonna ever kill it, even if he maxed every damage roll. But I mean, like that took out like a good chunk of its health.
Oh, I'm aware.
Yep. So Bellos going to use his fighting spirit. Get some temporary HP and some advantage. So he's gonna go
remember, that's just going to replace your old temporary HP. It doesn't stack.
Yeah, it doesn't stack. That's fine.
No. But it'll still give you advantage.
Yeah, well, still take the advantage. Gonna go in with the Maul, the Sacred Flame, going to hit directly.
Hit directly for massive damage.
I hope so.
Well, there's the Maul, the Sacred Flame going off. Oh god, that's a magic weapon. Oh dear Christ. And the downside is I took the full damage off the scythe because of the fact that it was made into a magic weapon because of the their right on it.
Yeah.
You gonna attack again?
Yep.
Okay then. Does that mean it's prone then?
Yep.
Well, it's prone if both rolls on a single advantage attack.
Here's the best part. It's immune to prone.
Oh.
Okay. That doesn't matter.
It takes another, let's see here, it takes another 20 damage to that, so that's an easy math to do. As you sort of just rush and triumphantly, it's just like, it's just with a big mighty swing just like slammed down through the creature's body with these like heavy double swings, just slamming it, just pulverizing it again and again into the ground. The creature just like crying back as it just like, again, just like you see it just thrash back away from you, still erupting in the radiant fires from before. Is that your turn?
Nope. Action surge. We're gonna go one more turn.
Oh dear Christ! Fucking miss! Why don't you? Do it! Roll double ones. I want to make it so that when you swing that axe, it breaks. Or it breaks the fucking maul. Oh dear God! Wait, you get 2 more attacks?
Yeah, it's a full set of attack actions.
Oh dear god, and he gets an extra attack for the... Oh god. Okay, he takes another 25 damage as he is reduced deep further down into his HP. Just Jesus fucking Christ. As you just slam down the hammer.
20 than 24. 25.
As he just slams down twice into him, just like again and again, just railing just this creature back further and further away from you. Not actually throwing it to the ground at all, it just slams, just tears through its body and over again. The creature just seems to be like heavily just like coated in this like featherless ethereal mist as it's starting to dissipate into the fires. It's the radiant damage from the Spirit Guardians is just eating away at itself now. Its actual sheer size growing smaller. Ruse, it's your turn.
Alright, well. Before we lose track of it, or at least the rest of us do, cast that at it.
Okay then, so now the creature is now fully illuminated, even further so, if it fails to save. Fuck you. The creature powers through the thing as it just thrashes violently, tossing the magic aside off of its body.
Well, shit. I'm still going to attack it with my freaking dagger. Screw you.
Go for it.
Aw. That would have been nice.
Oh dear god. Oh dear god. Oh dear god. The good thing is you missed. As you rush forward to try and attack this thing, and you sort of just like flail at it. As it was already flailing about wildly in there, you take a swipe through it, thinking you cut through its ethereal body when really there's no trace of magical residue left on the edge of your blade, as the creature still tries to reconstitute itself. Now here's the thing. Hey, I gotta scroll up really quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, you scroll it hard.
Oh god, Spirit Guardians. Hey, can you cast Spirit Guardians again?
There it is.
Faunus? No, cast it again because
Okay.
the damage roll needs to be done again.
Okay.
Faunus? That would be you casting Spirit Guardians.
Oh,
You need to cast Spirit Guardians again so I can see the damage that it does, because as this thing starts its turn in the fire, it's got to take that fucking damage again. That was a bad roll? You serious?
Yeah, what the hell?
1d... 3d8, yeah.
No, actually,
A 1.
I have to... Can you post the information for that spell really quickly, just so I can make sure I'm not doing this wrong?
Sure.
Is it creature that must see a wisdom save or become cursed for the duration of the... Oh, that's Bestow Curse, the other spell, Spirit Guardians. I was like, wait, what?
Oh, whoops.
This is the right spell? What are you doing to me? On failed save, the creature takes that much damage and that one series. Ah, good. It made the save. It takes no damage from that. As it just sort of like violently thrashes about the fire with a heavy whip of its arms, the fire is extinguished off of its body. As then it just tears off, passing through Ruse, and you guys turn back around just in time to see the creature as it rushes towards Faunus. And you hear it screech wildly as it goes in to attack her.
And I will throw one more Bardic Inspiration out at it.
Sounds good.
And it will take that off of its attack roll.
Let's see here. Alright. And... Alright. So... I'm going to just do this really quickly. Oh, not caps lock, Jesus Christ. So as you rush as the creature rushes forward to you, you hear it just wailing horribly at you. As it then raises up its tendrils, and just for a brief moment, you try to like raise your guard just in time to try and protect it, but it doesn't really seem to matter, as it just barrels down you. And just again and again. Yeah, it got good rolls. And you take, off of its double attacks, take 7 and 7 damage. So you take 14 damage off of that, which I will take off for you, Faunus.
Oh.
It's minus 14. This brings you down to 23. And with that, the creature takes off further behind you and disappears from your radius of the spell. And you cannot see it.
Fantastic.
Where did it go?
You saw it take off probably towards her right-hand side after it basically, or not even the right-hand side, basically it went passing through you, just rushed her and just like slammed her twice, just like throwing her down, and then took off. Now that said, actually, can you make what's your spell casting? It's your wisdom?
Yes, it's my wisdom.
Make a wisdom saving throw. You retain concentration over your spell.
Okay, good.
So you continue to cast it despite the fact that you've just taken like just a couple of like heavy blows to it and like lost track of the creatures that took off through you afterwards and disappeared.
Well, we gotta look for it, I suppose.
Well, which way did it go?
The radius of the spell that she cast is 15 feet around herself, basically. It is not within 15 feet of her. Or him, sorry. Faunus is a guy, sorry.
Faunus is whatever Faunus wants to be.
Faunus is whoever he wants to be, yeah. Sorry. So you know it's at least
really
not within
pretty boy.
15 feet of Faunus.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well,
I mean, you
probably
can
move
head in the direction you think it went.
Right. I think each of us should pick a direction. And just sort of hope for the best.
Well, you're the one who's moving right now, and the radius is directly around you, so you're kind of the one who needs to search for it right now.
Yeah, I'll look towards the right.
You look towards
Stay
the right?
close.
Are you going to try and make an attack, or are you going to try and detect it by just going for like a raw perception check?
I'm gonna try to detect it.
Alright, cool. Do you have a spell for that? Detect good and evil?
Yes, I do.
Go for it. Cast it. So anything within 30 feet of you. You don't even have to point a fucking direction. So as you cast the spell, you look around wildly into like every direction that you have, and you look around. You don't see it immediately, and then you look up. The thing is flying about 30 feet in the air.
Cool, it can fly. That's great. At least
It can
we know
what?
that.
Yeah, I
This
just
is not
noticed it
fucking
said
stuff
when I went to do that
off
movement, I was like, oh, it actually has a lot of
Oh.
speed in flight.
I
Well,
Is it too late to leave now?
Hey, you have a ranged attack, I
hey,
believe.
hey guys, why do you think it's flying?
Is it running away?
No, it's not running away, but I mean, like, it might have a
Oh, wish.
reason to be flying.
might
be
have-
There's gonna fire his laser at us.
No, it's not. You guys have, like,
Oh,
fucking
laser,
destroyed this
probably.
thing! How much health do you think it has?
It's running away, isn't it?
It's not running away yet, at the very least. It's
getting ready to
hovering
run away.
above you, still facing you, as Faunus can see it.
if I can see it.
Well, you can't. By the way, by casting Detection of Good and Evil, you have the Spirit Guardians have faded.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah, but you can still see the thing and spot it for everybody else. Now that said, you can't do any more actions actually this turn. I just remembered that because of that taking of your action.
Alright.
So there's Osiris. Now, unfortunately, Osiris is way out of reach of this thing. And if I
And
look through
traded
his,
in all of his ranged shit.
and let's see if he traded all of his range shit in. Yep. So I'm gonna say he takes a defensive stance from where he stands.
Oh, poor Metal Gear.
As he also says to himself, like, I live on the edge. And that's it. We make fun of people here at Lord Gavin Games. Oh, Bellis, it's your turn.
We're clipping that for Robin, right?
No.
That whole last turn.
Fuck you.
I'm sure one of us will.
He probably
We
could
need
have clipped the part where he like nearly destroyed this thing and he wasn't even here.
Yeah, but we got to start right when he says Metal Gear.
All right, it's your turn. What are you doing?
Okay, there's literally only one thing I can do. I'm going to cast my.
Oh
Take the
dear
flames.
God! I gave you a rage spell. Why did I give you a rage spell? No! Make the save.
You know what? Before you actually even reveal that, I'm going to throw my last freaking bardic inspiration.
Fuck you! Is that gonna just add to the damage? No, don't get a 4. No!
-7 to that dodge.
Oh, it's just a -7 to the dodge. It's not adding the damage. Good.
No.
So as he sort of like heals back his hammer really heavily, he just sort of goes like with a as he just throws this freakishly large fireballs. You hear it slam into the creature like dead straight into its body as it just sort of reels back, caught in a light within the fire that's the radiant fire of holy power. The creature screeches and cries out horrifically as its body just basically hangs within the air suspendedly as it sort of knocks senseless from the blow, barely constituting its body any further. You know what? Fuck it, Ruse. Here. This is where we're going down.
Okay.
Take your turn.
Oh, so you know what I'm actually going to do. Glad to know. Reese is just gonna hold up his hands above his head and snap his fingers. At level 3.
Ah!
Oh, damn.
I don't even need to roll the save, because even if it took half damage, it's dead. I made the save, guys. But it doesn't matter. As with the crack of your hands, you hear the creature just sort of like crying out one last time as it's just like... Before finally you snap your fingers and you hear the magical charge build up around it. And with a large explosive force of magic, you see ethereal particles falling down around you as the creature has been dispelled.
Honest, check to see if Titus is still alive enough,
Alright, I'm gonna go check him.
and I will come with. And
Someone
Provided
poke him
she
with a
can-
stick.
Abellis is off checking the monster we just killed.
What's the check anyway? No, let's just leave him. He's gonna walk up and go like, I shall inspect the corpse. And everyone's like, but what the?
You know,
Never
let's-
mind.
Let's just leave Titus and go look at the corpse.
Like, why inspect
Like,
what
ooh,
you
what a
think
cool
is dead when you can
monster.
inspect what you know is dead?
Jesus Christ. So as you approach Titus, Titus is face down and sort of like an imprint in the ground. There's actually a number of people like you can see off into the distance, like watching as this like fight unfolded out in the middle of the streets. Unfortunately, there are no city guard anywhere as they've all been dispatched. Remember, the adventurers aren't there.
what happened to the 2 guards that went down from the inn?
What happened to them indeed?
Oh shit!
That's concerning.
You want to try spare the dying on the guy and see if he comes to?
Come on, buddy. Come on.
Any breathing?
You sort of cast the
Any?
spell for a brief moment. For a moment, there's nothing. You hold the spell on top of him for a little bit longer to try and see if you can get some kind of pulse or breath out of him. And then you hear him go, as he just starts coughing up blood on the ground.
That's good enough
Okay.
for me.
Okay. He's gonna make it. He's in bad shape right now, but he's gonna make it.
So just so you cast more healing down upon him as he just sort of just coughs up more and
And
more
I
blood.
max heal 100%.
That is
wow.
fucking waste that roll now, why don't you? You will get all ones later, I swear to fucking God. And as he sort of looks around at all of you after everything that's happened, he raises his hand, just wiping the blood out of his mouth, and he goes, "Stalkers."
I'm sorry, what?
Is an invisible stalker.
I've heard of those.
They are only summoned to assassinate a quarry.
Oh. Seems like you made somebody's shit list.
Yes, of course I did. Who the fuck else is in prison now?
Well, Ruse will kind of carefully help him to his feet and just say, well, we'll see what happens next.
And with that, that brings us to the end of the session.
Rar
Hey
Metal Gear.
guys, you ruined everything. I'm gonna sign out with this.
We're so good at that. I'm really proud of us. We did good.
It's okay, we only spent an extra hour and a half going through the forest and shopping for potions.
Yeah, that was great.
Well-
I think in the next session we should spend like about an hour of it shopping for potions.
Okay,
But it's just the
I
shopkeeper
don't
trying
even want to
explain things.
tell, like, on stream what was supposed to happen today, but literally, like, I only planned 3 encounters. Every single one of them didn't work.
I'm sorry Ruse ruined all your fun.
It wasn't ruse, like, it was a variety of things that went wrong today. Like,
was
so
everybody
much went
combined.
wrong. And I was just like, this was supposed to be really cool, guys, and like, it's fine. Like, I'm fine with like all this happening. I'm like, well, like some memorable things happen. I'm not that mad. I'm just mad because like what I had in mind was so much cooler, and it was never gonna get to that after the first like 10 minutes. And I was like, all right, this is just how it's gonna be, isn't it?
You're like, cool, shit, it's not working.
No, none of this worked. Hey, everybody who's still watching the session out there. Hey, I hope you all had a great time. I sure as fuck didn't. I didn't even get to kill anybody today, and I came real fucking close.
You
Like,
came so
maybe
close.
twice. I almost killed
Okay.
a goddamn NPC. I couldn't even kill a goddamn NPC! I even
Tried to
crit the
kill him,
motherfucker,
okay?
and I couldn't kill him. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Have fun!
Later, everybody.
Metal Gear!
Pajama time.